For the Hammers extend their lead in this one to 6 points, and Kim Nielsen just showing how hard you have to turn the bike if you want to stick to the curb at this Arena Essex Raceway. There he does it pretty much every lap, lets the bike run only on one lap I think in this race, but Gray Cook working overtime on that first turn to round up the rest of the field. Great stuff from Kim Nielsen.
Super ride from Kim Nielsen, the Lakeside 12, the Bellevue Aces are on 6.
Yeah, Kim Nielsen, the man of the moment for Lakeside, isn't he? Back here at Poole, Wolves need a way back and fast here. They're up against the returning hero, Antonio Lindback. When you put Lindback and Bjarne Pedersen together, these two have done a lot of laps around here. Lindback for Poole off the inside. Sam Masters, gate 2 Wolves. Bjarne Pedersen, gate 3 Poole. Jakob Torshäll for the Wolves. Doesn't get any easier for Wolverhampton, Danny.
No, it certainly doesn't. It's not the best start, is it? Obviously not the way they wanted to start the meeting, but they need to get back into this really quickly because Poole can pull away quite nice.
Here we go, heat number 3, the return of Antonio Lindback, the Rio Rocket, but what a start from Sam Masters for the Wolves. Masters has got there, superstar from him. Lindback has made a mess of it, and coming round the outside in white here, superb from Jakob Torshäll. This is what Wolverhampton needed. Lindback made a real hash of the first turn there, went wide and lost it, but Torshäll is looking super quick here, the Swede. Second place is Sam Masters, and third in red, Bjarne Pedersen, and Torshäll. This is one of the reasons why he's the wild card in Stockholm for the Grand Prix this weekend.
Absolutely, I mean, this is exactly what Wolverhampton needed to bounce straight back after those 5-1s. They're right in the dirt now, they've got the bike set up good. Unfortunately for Antonio, he didn't make a great first bend, got a bit out of shape. Not the start to his meeting that he wanted, but I'm sure he'll get set up later on. But again, fantastic result for Wolverhampton.
Yeah, they needed this, didn't they? 10-2 down after a couple of heats. Jakob Torshäll, the club has stayed loyal to him. He's had a decent season. He's up in a heat leader role tonight for the Wolves, and he's going to be joined by Sam Masters as well, taking the checkered flag ahead of Bjarne Pedersen. And Antonio Lindback, well, it didn't go to plan for Antonio on his return to the Poole side there. Wasn't the best of starts, wasn't the best of first turns, but Torshäll, my goodness, he was absolutely jet-propelled early on. And, well, 3 5-1s in the opening 3 heats here. 2 to Poole, 1 to the Wolves. Jakob Torshäll and Sam Masters ahead of Bjarne Pedersen and Antonio Lindback. What a way to bounce back for Wolverhampton. Poole lead 11-7, but how the Wolves needed it, and what about that from Torshäll, Danny?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, just committed to the outside line. He knew he'd have the speed. It was very tight. As you can see there, Antonio got all out of shape and did actually well to stay on, but unfortunately for him, his race was over there straight away. Yeah, as you can see, I think he just caught a little bit of grip down low on the inside here. His front wheel on the grass caught. Yeah, there you go. Just caught that rut and it just lifted. He did actually very well to avoid the other boys. Fair play to him. But as you can see from that shot there, Torshäll was clear around the outside.
Yep, 11-7 here. Poole lead Wolverhampton. The action's fast and furious. We're getting through a lot of racing tonight, so let's head back to Lakeside against Bellevue, where the Hammers lead the Aces 12 points to 6 as we build up to heat number 4 with Chris Louis and Kelvin Tatum.
Thanks very much, Nigel. Absolutely right. Heat number 4 coming up with Scott Nicholls, the captain of the Bellevue Aces, out for his opening ride. Here's the lineup across the tapes. Richie Worrell coming in to replace Joe Jacobs here. He will go off the inside in yellow and black. Lewis Kerr, who had a strong ride in Heat 2, he'll go out at gate 2 in blue. Pretty impressive Kerr in that opening ride. Scotty Nicholls, who guested for the Lakeside Hammers here last week and did a terrific job. He will be pleased with that. And Richard Lawson, who has been a little out of form here at the Arena Essex Raceway in recent weeks. He will go in red from the outside.
Mark Lemon wasting no time in bringing Richie Worrell in, winner first time out. Joe Jacobs has been under the weather, so I hope for Bellevue that that's not the reason he's been pulled out of this race if he's not feeling too well.
No, indeed. Joe Jacobs, who's been riding very well for the Bellevue Aces this year, growing in confidence all the time, and riding around the new big track up there at the National Stadium very well indeed. Riders now just beginning to finish their gardening. They're up at tapes. The start marshal is happy. Referee is about to put the green light on. Concentration, away they go. It's a terrific start from the inside once again from Richie Worrell. He had it in the opening race. Lewis Kerr, how on earth he avoided the action there in the first corner, but there's no doubt that the game there was for Scott Nicholls. He's hit the front. Lewis Kerr going very wide. Richard Lawson has come through into second place. That was really quite a harem-scarum first corner there, Chris.
Yeah, we had riders pretty much scattering everywhere. Lewis Kerr almost collecting the back wheel of Scott Nichols, but Richard Lawson put in a great first lap. Just got himself ahead of Richie Worrell and then pinned him down on the curb down there on turns 3 and 4. That's allowed Lewis Kerr to get up with him. And now with Scott Nichols pretty much an expert around this track. I think the Lakeside boys will do well just to fill in.
Yeah, they're hanging on for second and third. Scotty Nichols showing his ability to ride this tight technical track. Terrific here last week, guessing for the Hammers. Doing a great job, a captain's role he's playing in his opening ride. He's going to pick up the 3 points. Richie Worrell looked so impressive initially away from the tapes. Got it wrong in the first corner, and the Lakeside Hammers pack the minor placings. But in truth, the Aces were probably looking for a bit of a heat advantage there with the change of rider with Worrell coming in, but Nichols very impressive in front.
Yeah, very impressive. Scott, I would class him as a small track specialist. He's very good. He's found the big wide open spaces and fast track at Bellevue. A bit of a tough prospect this year, Kelvin.
He has indeed. Nichols picks up the 3 points. Super ride from him. Lewis Kerr going great guns in second place. Richard Lawson in third. Richie Worrell, after a great start, just found it tough coming through that first corner.
Richie Worrell off the inside, comes in and faces Joe Jacobs in this one, makes a good start, stops the bike. I think there was a little bit of contact there from Lewis Kerr, but certainly that's enough just to stop all of his momentum.
Oh,
See there, stops the bike so close. Scott Nichols busy just making way around the outside, pulls clear for a comfortable race. And oh, there we go, we just see how close that was.
Really action-packed first corner. Lakeside 15, the Bellevue Aces on 9. It's tough stuff here.
Poole 11, Wolverhampton 7 here after 3 heats at the Wimborne Road Stadium, and we have the world champion in heat number 4 here now, Ty Woffenden in the white helmet colour. Off the inside in yellow and black, it's Kyle Howarth. Gate 2 is Kyle Newman in blue for the Pirates. Gate 3 is the world champion, Ty Woffenden in white for the Wolves, and Krzysztof Peszkowski, recently back from injury. He goes off the outside for the Poole Pirates. A chance to sign the world champion, Woffenden. Wolves had to do it, didn't they?
Yeah, they didn't have no choice really. You know, it needed to be done, and he's
harsh on Kilmacorpy.
It is, unfortunately, but you know, they're looking at the bigger picture, and they want to win a league title, and if the world champion's up for grabs, you can't turn it down.
So Woffenden, who continues the defence of his title this Saturday in Stockholm, but is 13 points off the championship leader, the remarkable man that is Greg Hancock. But can Woffenden help Wolves keep it tight here at the home of the champions? Oh, flying start from Kyle Newman, and the red lights are on. The red lights are on straight away. So Chris Gay is our referee, called them back, and it did look as though Newman on that occasion made the best start, and perhaps Chris Gay feels he was the man who delayed it.
Yeah, I think so. Look, I mean, certainly from the first look. Here we go again, let's have a look. Yeah, he just anticipated that, and although he didn't touch the tapes, obviously we can't do that, and yeah, I think the right call definitely by the referee there, Nigel.
Well, as a rider, Danny, because there's been much talk about this, tell us your thoughts. What's the thought process? You don't get pulled back for starting very often, do you? But what are your thoughts on it?
It's tough. Yeah, I think obviously if someone's made a jump or anticipated the start, then it needs to come back. There are occasions where riders make brilliant starts, but they don't get away with it.
Let's head to Lakeside. Sophie is with John Cook, the Lakeside manager.
I am indeed, thank you. John, are you happy with the start so far?
Yeah, for sure. Early days yet though, so we've got to keep going, but Heat 1 set down the marker, that's what we wanted. I think a little bit of luck there, it's always a good sign if you're going to get a bit of luck early in the meeting. So we're on it, and that's all we wanted.
You've had a great home record all season this year. You've only lost once, I believe, to Poole, so you must be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, we lost to Poole when the track was nothing like it would normally be, and we've beaten Bellevue twice, so we would like to beat them a third time and get a bit of a lead to take up there and have some fun in the final.
What is the scoreline you'd like to take there?
I'd probably double what we got now would be defendable, I think. That's what we're hoping for, but it's early days. They've got tacticals if it gets that far, but they're a quality team. They're top of the league for a reason, and the start will not be what is to come over the next few heats. I think next few heats a little bit weak, then I think we go a bit stronger again, so we look forward to that.
You seem pretty relaxed, really.
Yeah, well, I think it's good for us because we're little old Lakeside. We came bottom last year, and maybe we haven't reached the heights we wanted to over the last couple of years, but we're back now, and this is goal number 1. Goal number 2 is to make the final. No one thinks we'll be in it, but I think when we are, we'll be surprising a few people.
Best of luck. Thanks very much.
Yeah, good comments from John Cook. He's always a good talker, the Lakeside promoter and team manager. Heat 4, Kyle Howarth off the inside, Newman off 2, Woffenden off 3 and Buszkowski off 4. All 4 riders back for the restart here. A reminder, at Lakeside, it is Lakeside 15, Bellevue 9, and here Poole 11, Wolves 7. The second leg of both meetings live on Sky Sports next Monday night. Here we go, heat number 4, second time of asking. It's a good start from Newman off gate number 2. Now what can Woffenden do off the outside? Here comes Buszkowski! Christoph Buszkowski with a real clever move up the inside. It was a super switch from the pole. Buszkowski, who goes wide and now looks to do some team riding here. Woffenden trying everything, but he's at the back line now. This is great from the Poole Pirates as the man in yellow comes round. Kyle Howarth and Woffenden is there as well now.
Yeah, unbelievable first lap of Speedway, Nige. I mean, Ty didn't make a great start, and Buszkowski did a fantastic first corner at the top back to get on the 5-1. Now that's changed quickly now, though. I mean, the Wolves boys are really dialed into the track, and now they just looks like they're going to ride side by side and try and bring home the 3-3.
Well, watch out for Buszkowski. He's coming on strong again here. There's a gap in the middle. Woffenden's looking over his shoulder, and whoa, Buszkowski has come around now. This is dangerous here. It's hard, but Buszkowski has just passed the world champion, going into turn 3 and 4. What a ride this is. He's going to try the inside run now, but yellow and black Kyle Howarth just about does it up. 4-2 to the Pirates. Fantastic race and the best one of the night so far, Danny King.
That was unbelievable. I mean, at one stage there I thought Wolfie was going to go for the win, but he decided to try and team ride with his partner there, and unfortunately he come to grief. Fantastic ride by Buszkowski. I mean, you know, to go from a paid win to last to back to nearly second, what a result.
Yep, it's a win for Kyle Newman. Second place was Kyle Howarth. Christoph Buszkowski in third place there, and Ty Woffenden at the back for Wolverhampton, who I think paid the price for really trying to do some team riding there. If he wasn't doing that, he may have got a second spot or maybe gone for the win, Danny.
Yeah, that's right, as you say. You can see here he sort of got shut out on the first bend, and Buszkowski, what a fantastic move there to come out on the back straight on the 5-1. But Howarth, you know, he committed to the outside, run up in the grip and managed to get the speed off the corner. Ty trying the inside, oh, close was that, brilliant. Yeah, here you go, see Ty coming in real deep. Yeah, this is Kyle Howarth coming around the outside, brilliant result. As I say, Ty managed to get into paid second for a spot and trying to ride his team partner, but Buszkowski weren't having none of it, and he rode hard all the way. What a brilliant race.
Cool. Not much room there. You wouldn't have thought he'd have got past here, would you? Whoa, what a move. Yeah,
that was unbelievable. Fully committed there from Buszkowski. He knows the fast lines around this track, and once you're committed to that dirt, he knows you can't get out of it.
Good Speedway heat number 4. 2 super meetings so far then in our playoff semi-finals tonight. Lakeside lead Bellevue by 15 points to 9 after 4 there, and here after 4, same scoreline. Poole 15, Wolverhampton 9. We'll be back with the action from both Lakeside and Poole. Stay with us throughout the night. Great Speedway, and we're back in a few moments' time. Great start to our night of Elite League Speedway. A close contest so far. 4 heats gone at each venue and only 6 points separate the sides. The home teams would like a little bit more than that, Danny, wouldn't they?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's going to be a long night, and I mean, Poole certainly started the way they really wanted to, but Wolverhampton haven't given up. They fought back early on, and that's exactly what they needed to do.
And across at Arena Essex, Lakeside Hammers lead Bellevue by 15 points to 9. They've got Bridger and Morley against the Waddle Twins coming up in the next one, Heat 5 at Arena Essex. Can the Hammers get a big lead to take to Manchester on Monday, which is also live on Sky Sports? Let's head to the action with Chris Louis and Kelvin Tatum.
Well, can they get a big lead, Nigel? They'll be certainly hoping so. And here in heat number 5, we've got the line-up with the Worrell boys out once again. Stevie Worrell off the inside in white. Lewis Bridger, an impressive winner first time out. He goes out of gate 2 in red. Richie Worrell, who's been a busy man already, he goes out of gate 3 in yellow. And off the outside, Ben Morley. He picked up the solitary point and he will be in blue. An important race, I think, on paper, Chris. Looks like it might be a tough one for the home team.
Yeah, you would think that Bellevue would feel that they have the upper hand here. I've got to say, though, I was impressed with Lewis Bridger first time out. Rode with Kim Nielsen for the 5-1 to give the home side a positive start.
Yeah, he has a rider that had a year out of the sport, Lewis Bridger, but was back into the sports at the beginning of this year. He's had his ups and downs, particularly away from home. You look at his average, it isn't quite what he would have liked, but at 26 years of age, still a young man, still plenty of racing ahead of him, and he started tonight in fine style with a terrific win in the opening race. He's ready to go. Riders now just beginning to settle down. Snart Marshall not happy there with Richie Worrell, who's actually parked up fairly close to gate 4. Still not happy, taking his time. Plenty of tension out there this evening. Right, here we go. Heat number 5, lights on, and away they go. Terrific start from the Worrell twins there. They've got the better of the home side, no question about that, to the first corner. Richie Worrell there, who took his plenty of time to settle down in gate 3, roared away from the tape. Stevie Worrell on the inside. Lewis Bridger, an impressive winner first time out. He's back in 3rd place, and he's got work to do if he's going to get amongst the bigger points, but Richie Worrell is clearing off out in front.
It's worked well for the Aces, and particularly for the Worrell twins in this one, because I think with Stevie Worrell covering Richie Worrell's back, it's the right way round. He is the one that's ridden with the most confidence so far this year. His confidence in his machinery is high as well. He says his bikes are great, and I think he's going to be prepared to do the hard yards here in front of Lewis Bridger.
He's going to have to, because there's a lap to go. Richie Worrell out in front has got the race all under control. Bridger's been working overtime, back in 3rd place, just lifting once again as they go down the back straight for the first time. Steve Worrell running a little bit wide. Bridger coming off the inside. No, can't quite get there. Big 5-1, big 5-1. The first big blow by the Bellevue Aces this evening. That could be quite significant. Terrific race from the brothers, from the twins, sharp away from the tapes and dominated proceedings. Good effort from Bridger, but just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, the effort was there from Lewis Bridger. He tried for all 4 laps and reeled Stevie Worrell in and nearly took him for 2nd place on one occasion there, but the Worrell twins really doing the business for the Aces.
Did indeed. The 3 points going to Richard Worrell, who coming out of gate number 3. Steve Worrell, his brother, back in 2nd. Lewis Bridger riding really strongly in 3rd place, but couldn't find a way through. Ben Morley missing out. But there may have been a little bit of movement on the tapes. We will see it again.
Yeah, interesting to see. Nothing really that I would say needed to be brought back from the referee. Pretty clean start for me, and I'm sure Richie Worrell on the outside, Steve Worrell on the inside will be very happy with that. Having a close-up look there at the style of Lewis Bridger. Doesn't make as good a start as he does from gate 1 in heat 1, but Richie Worrell and Stevie Worrell really doing the business, looking comfortable. Stevie Worrell coming under fire, but happy with that.
Terrific riding there from the Bellevue Aces. Just the 2 points in and out. The Lakeside Hammers on 16, the Bellevue Aces on 14.
And you can contact us on Twitter at Sky Speedway. Tell us your thoughts on tonight's action. Wolves are 15-9 down to the reigning champions. Poole here. This is Heat 5. Carlson, Kurtz, Clegg and Ellis. Wolverhampton have gates 1 and 3 here. Kurtz, though, very impressive in heat number 1, and Adam Ellis, a winner of the 2nd race as well. Now, heat number 5, and Carlson's made a good one. And now Clegg on the inside in yellow and black is there, but watch out for Kurtz around the outside. Will Carlson look over his shoulder? Carlson surely has to clear off and concentrate on the win. Clegg holding 2nd spot, though, right now. Brady Kurtz is going to try and go around the outside. He's got the better of Max Clegg. Here comes Adam Ellis now as well. Ellis is going high and wide, and he's trying to get the better of Max Clegg, and they've just passed him. Clegg hanging on though, but the old master, Peter Carlson, kicking on for the Wolves, Danny.
Yeah, absolutely. He made a fantastic start and really controlled that first bend. Clegg at the back, he's not giving up. He's got a quick set out there, but unfortunately Adam's just on the outside of him in the dirt line. He's got pace though. That's got to be a positive thing for him. But out front, as you say, PK flying.
Yeah, Peter Carlson, who came back to the Wolverhampton side in June after Nickelbeck decided that he didn't want to hang around in British Speedway. Just beg the question why he signed to come back and ride for Wolves anyway, Nickelbeck. But Peter Carlson was there when they needed him, and he's picked up a big win for the Wolves. That's the 2nd race winner that Wolverhampton have provided tonight, and they keep the scores relatively close after 5 heats. Much needed from Peter Carlson. Brady Kurtz and Adam Ellis getting the better of Max Clegg, who's finding it tough tonight here, the youngster. British Under-19 title winner last Wednesday at Perry Bar, Birmingham, and then the National League Riders Champion at the weekend, but finding it tough here tonight. Peter Carlson, the race winner then for the Wolves. Second place was Brady Kurtz for the Pirates. Adam Ellis was in third place, and Max Clegg trailed in at the back. It's a 3-all, and it's Poole 18, Wolverhampton 12, but the old master, Peter Carlson, dropping the clutch before everyone else.
Yeah, perfect there. You see Brady was trying to get across him, and they touched elbows going into the first bend, but PK held his line, knew exactly where he wanted to go and committed to that first bend, and then that allowed him just to clear off in front. So look here, Adam Ellis, he sort of got a good jump, but had to get out the throttle a little bit there on that first bend because Brady was in front of him. Clever first corner there, just around the inside. He actually looked like he was going to pass Brady for second there, but Brady just managed to hold on. Oh yeah, brilliant. Yeah, Brady there, as you say, held it on around the first bend, in the dirt, and just tried to chase after PK.
Yeah, good stuff from Peter Carlson then, 46 years of age. Fine ride, he'll be up for it on Monday at Monmouth Green. He loves that track. He's done a lot of laps around there over the years. Now let's skip down to the pits for some reaction with Simon Stead.
Yeah, I've got PK with me here. Great ride, PK. Brilliant, showing you still got it.
Yeah, it was nice to win the race, you know, and important. All the points are very important, and we're just finding our way around it. You know, it was a little bit more slick than we thought it would be, and caught us out to start with. But hopefully we can come back a bit.
Yeah, it looks like that. You had a tough first ride, but obviously you've got plenty of experience, learned the track, passing on that experience to the rest of the guys.
The experience don't count for nothing, mate. It's all on the night and fresh, you know, and everything's got to be good, you know, yourself and the bike and everything. So we're trying to work together and share the information around now, what we need to do.
Great stuff. Good luck for the rest of the night. Cheers, Peter.
Yeah, good stuff from Peter Carlson. It is here. Poole 18, Wolverhampton 12, Lakeside 16, Bellevue 14, Hit 6, Chris and Kelv.
Away they go, and it's Zago out of gate number 2 and makes a terrific start. Richard Lawson there in second place. Craig Cook getting it all right in the first corner. And he's out the back with Eddie Kennett in third place, but Zagar, who failed to score in his opening ride, much more like it from the number 1 man from the Bellevue Aces. A sharp start. Lawson in trouble. Lawson in all sorts of problems there, just regaining his composure. He slips back to third place with Eddie Kennett, now moving into second place, but Zagar this time, Chris, looking much more accomplished.
Yeah, Zagar looking like we see week in, week out in Grand Prix Speedway, but Richard Lawson really has put himself under so much pressure with that mistake down on turns 1 and 2 on the second lap. Craig Cook is hunting him down now. This is a track quite similar to the track at Edinburgh that he's pretty much grown up on in the Premier League, and he loves racing that place, and we're seeing some of the moves now that we're used to seeing just over there.
Indeed it is. It's just one corner to go. Zagar coming under pressure from Eddie Kennett. He won't quite get there. A run to the line with Lawson and Cook. Cook just missing out on the vital points there. Brilliant ride from Matty Zagar. Disappointing first time out. The Slovenian, the Grand Prix star, who's had a disappointing season in truth, coming up with a terrifically strong ride. The home team having to really fight hard to hang on to the 3 points.
Yeah, as you say, the home team really fighting hard, but I'm sure Mark Lennon will be happy with 3 threes from now on.
They will indeed. Just the 2 points in it, 19 points to 17. Zagar 3 points. Kennett rode strongly for his second place. Richard Lawson hanging on for third under pressure from Craig Cook, who misses out, but this was much more like it from a class rider here.
Yeah, great start, straight across from gate 2, makes a lovely start, just covers the run from the inside, then moves out to the dirt. Eddie Kennett looking back, he can't believe that Craig Cook has quite made the mistake he has. It's a pretty poor start from Eddie Kennett actually off the inside there, but Craig Cook there makes his big mistake, loses a good 20 yards as early as lap 1, and really an uphill battle from him. But Matty Zagar looking comfortable. Good to put that first race behind him with 3 points.
Terrific ride from Zagar, but we can now get some reaction with Sophie.
Thanks very much, Matty. That was a great race. I saw you going in on the first one. You weren't a happy man.
Yeah, no, I don't like losing, and it's an important meeting today. And of course, we got to get as many hit wins as possible.
So you've made some changes, have you?
No, actually not, because I knew from gate 4 it's going to be tough because it's a big handicap here, gate 4. But you know, second one it was okay. So it's pretty hard to ride today. It's a lot of bumps.
You've done pretty well here in the past, though. You've had one visit here yourself personally, and you had 3 race wins then.
Yeah, I don't mind this place because obviously our ex-home track was similar size, and small track don't make me any problems. So it's not too bad, to be honest.
And 2 race wins in a row for Bellevue, not bad.
Yeah, we got to get winning now. You know, we're in the right direction now, so I think everybody's more pumped up now, and we don't watch television no more, just focus on racing.
Brilliant. Better luck. Thank you.
I just want to say hi to Steve, Donsey and Georgie.
Heat number 6 is here, 18-12 in favour of the Poole Pirates, and the Pirates have got 1 and 3 with Bjarne Pedersen and Krzysztof Buszkowski. Freddie Lindgren is off gate number 2 for the Wolves, squeezed out in his opening ride. Now what can he do here? Oh, Buszkowski's coming through, and coming hard around the outside. Sam Masters for Wolverhampton. What a move from the Australian. Now it's down to Lindgren. What can the number 1 do for the Wolves? He's chasing hard. He's come through into 3rd. He's going to have to go wide as well. Now the switch up the inside from Lindgren. Level wheel to wheel with Bjarne Pedersen. What a move! And the Wolves have suddenly found their way through to a 5-1, Danny King.
What a first lap of speed there that was. I mean, Sam Masters committed on the first bend, wasn't much room down the back straight, but managed to hold on and get overtaken for the win. And Freddie again, what a cutback there, and he's out in 2nd place now on a 5-1, and I think he's going to hold him off. This is going to really close the meeting up, Nige.
Yeah, it really will. This will really bring it to within a couple of points now. Wolverhampton looking set for their second 5-1 of the night. How crucial can this prove to be? Sam Masters is on fire tonight. He's unbeaten by a Poole rider in his opening 2 heats. Wonderful ride from Masters. Freddie Lindgren was in 2nd there, riding hard to come through ahead of Buszkowski and Pedersen, who went to the back. And that is a big result for the Wolves. They close the gap to within 2 points here of the Poole Pirates. Superb ride from the Wolves duo there. They had to do it the hard way. Lindgren joining Masters, who pulled off a fantastic move down the back straight to pass the Poole riders. Masters, Lindgren, Buszkowski. It's a 5-1 to the Wolves and closes it all up after 6 races gone here. Poole 19, Wolverhampton 17, and great racing as well, Danny.
Yeah, what a tight first bend. It actually looked like Freddie was on the 5-1 going into the first corner, but Bjarne just managed to slip up on the inside there. Look at Sam, how wide he was. He really committed for that dirt, and yeah, there wasn't much room down the back straight, but fair play to him. Freddie, though, he kept his composure, and he just picked the boys off through the race. Brilliant result for them. Here we go again. Yeah, Bjarne really controlled that first corner. Turned back quite hard, nearly run into his teammate there, but they both won that grip on the inside of the track. But Sam has had too much momentum and was flying around the outside there. You can see really enjoying that dirt. Oh, this is the move from Freddie. Yeah, what a turn in between the 2 Poole boys. Got a bit tight coming in there, but Bjarne managed to try and cut back there. Oh, Freddie, yeah, just hit that dirt line, followed Sam home. Brilliant result for the Wolverhampton boys.
Yeah, great stuff for Wolverhampton there then. This is right down to the crucial moment of Freddie Lindgren's pass here. It's the switch, isn't it, Danny, that does the trick for him there? Yeah,
he come in deep, he just caught the dirt line, then turned back and just went between the 2 Poole boys there. Fantastic move, brilliant speedway.
Good crowd here at Wimborne Road tonight then, 19-17 in favour of the Poole Pirates. Good speedway here, Danny. We're seeing some great racing here at Wimborne Road tonight.
Yeah, we are. The dirt line, you know, it's wide, but the boys are really going for it, and it's working. If you can get it right, the speed they're getting down the back straight is just enough to push them into the front.
Dare I say it, it's your type of track. You'd love the high, wide line, wouldn't you?
I do. You know, that just suits my style, but you know, I was surprised how early they were going for it as well, and it was working, so they know it's there. How long it's going to stay there, I'm not sure, because obviously the more they use it, the more it's going to disappear. So
absolutely, and it's what Wolverhampton need, really, just to keep hanging on in there, hanging on to the coattails of the Poole Pirates.
Yeah, they seem to be getting the setup now. I think they've settled down a little bit. I think early on the track caught them out a little bit slick on the inside than normal for Poole, but as I say, they're starting to get the setup now. Well,
good comments from Danny King. Let's get some more expert analysis at Lakeside, where it's the Hammers 19, the Aces 17. Here's Chris Louis and Kelvin Tatum.
Thanks, Nige. Just the 2 points in it here, and thoroughly enjoying tonight's meetings. Wolverhampton fighting back. Line up heat number 7 here with Eddie Kennett coming out for a second time of asking. He goes off the inside, needs to make a better start this time from there. Max Frick out of gate 2 in white, missed the start first time. Kim Nielsen, who's had a couple of rides, is unbeaten by an opponent so far. He's riding well. And Scott Nichols from the outside, 3 points to his name from his one ride. He was very impressive indeed.
Yeah, this pairing of Kennett and Nielsen, one that the Lakeside Hammers would be expecting big points from, but Scott Nichols off the outside. Gate 4, not necessarily the best here, but the track does have a dirt line that will suit Scott.
Indeed it will. Keep your eyes on Nichols. Could he do a big swoop round the first corner? Kennett this time makes a much better start from the inside. Kim Nielsen chopping back to the inside, but both the Aces come charging through the back there with Scott Nichols riding terrifically well to get himself into second place. Max Frick is in third, with Kim Nilsson coming up the inside. Kennett out in front. Nichols now holding the inside line with Eddie Kennett coming from the inside. He's on the outside. Kim Nilsson is second, settled in third place, but Kennett looking much more like himself out in front, but under massive pressure.
Yeah, he is under pressure. We know that the rider in yellow there, Nichols, loves this track. But Kim Nilsson just showing us how he can make the bike accelerate after stopping in the middle of the corner. Really taking good effect of that on the first lap to get himself into third place.
Indeed it is, terrific stuff. Kennett running wide there with Nichols charging up the inside. Down the back straight for the last time. Kennett getting it wrong, running so wide. Nichols on the inside, the charge to the line. Nichols has done him. Oh, what a ride from Scott Nichols. Fabulous ride from the captain of the Bellevue Aces there. Eddie Kennett, so long, 3 3/4 laps. He had the race in his back pockets. Big mistake on the last lap, Chris.
Yeah, you can't leave the door wide open for a guy like Scott Nichols, especially around here. He can put the bike exactly where he wants it. He did on that last turn and got it exactly right.
Race of the night so far, heat number 7. Scotty Nichols picking up a vital win for the Aces. Edward Kennett back in second place. Kim Nilsson in third, and Max Frick, who's not enjoying a great night. He failed to score, but what a ride that was. The race of the night. Kennett possibly kicking himself there. He'd done the hard work, in truth. He'd got away from the inside and was controlling things in front for so long.
You're right, Kelvin. A heat advantage can flip just like that in the space of 10 yards as he made that mistake, but he makes a cracking start from the inside. The race before, he'd made a poor start, maybe made a few changes. He goes straight to the dirt line from gate 1, taking absolutely no prisoners. I've got a feeling he thought that's where Scott Nichols would be coming from gate 4, but Scott had cut back through the middle. There's the mistake from Eddie Kennett, and that's a poor mistake on the last lap.
Well, what a ride it was from the 7-time British champion. I think we can hear from him now. He's with Sophie.
Yeah, you can indeed. Scott, a fantastic race there. You kept the pressure on Eddie all the way around to take the win.
Yeah, it's conditions are a bit tricky out there, so just hoping I could pressure him into a mistake, and I did. Close on line, but we managed to kind of level the race and keep us in the hunt.
They have said this is a track you like, and obviously you were guesting here for Lakeside last week.
Yeah, I enjoy the track, but it's different. It's changed quite a lot over the years, and tonight it's a little bit, the outside's being consistent. You can see Eddie had trouble there, so yeah, you definitely got to use your head, but you know, level points, no last places for us, and keep the gap as close as we can for Monday.
Just 2 points in it at the moment. The team must be pretty happy with that right now.
Definitely. I mean, if we come away here with that, or maybe even a couple less, that would be great for Monday.
Best of luck. Thank you.
So 22-20, Lakeside lead Bellevue, and what a ride from Scott Nichols for Bellevue there. 2 rides, 2 wins. He loves that Lakeside track, Nichols, doesn't he? And back here at Poole, Poole 19, Wolverhampton 17, Chris Holder off the inside in red, Jakob Torschel gate 2 in white for the Wolves, Antonio Limbach, can he get it right this time off gate 3 in blue, and Ty Woffenden in yellow and black going off the outside for the Wolves here. And Woffenden last place in his opening ride, Limbach last place in his opening ride. Which way will this one go? Heat number 7, and it's a good one from Chris Holder off the inside gate. Woffenden's in the back once again now. Torschel holding second spot, he's got to go wide. That will allow Woffenden the opportunity to come up the inside now to try and come through for third place. Limbach in the back, but Chris Holder is looking good, and when Chris Holder takes the lead here at Wimborne Road, he's a hard man to pass, but here comes Limbach for the Poole Pirates. He's just past Woffenden, who's going to come back and have another go.
Wow, what a first lap we've been now. I mean, I think they've changed position every single lap, avoiding second, third and fourth. Wolfie's not giving up now though. Antonio made a bit of a mistake on lap 2. Didn't seem to know where to ride on the track. Oh my God, what a move. He has got some speed now. I think he's remembering the fast lines round here, Nige.
And here comes Limbach back again. He's having a go at Torschel. The lead is with Chris Holder. Looks over his shoulder. Second place, Jakob Torschel. Third in blue is Antonio Limbach. And the world champion, Ty Woffenden, trailing at the back. It's going to be a 4-2 to the Pirates. They're 4 points up now on a night where Ty Woffenden, the world champion, has yet to score a point from 2 rides. It's not his night, but this man, Chris Holder, 2 rides, 2 wins. Stunning form from Holder, Danny.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, once he hit the front, he was gone. He certainly knows the quickest way around here. But there was a hell of a race on behind him for a few laps there. I mean, Antonio looked like he didn't quite know where to ride on the first lap and sort of got himself in a bad position. But then he worked really hard and put the bike in places where he remembered he needs to, and he found some grip, and he was unlucky there not to get the 5-1.
So, heat number 7, the official result, a win for Chris Holder. Jakob Torshäll second, Antonio Lindback third for the Pirates, Ty Wolverhampton at the back. It's a 4-2 for Poole. They lead the Wolves now by 23 points to 19 after 7 heats, and you do feel if Wolves are going to keep this close, Wolverhampton needs to come to the party, Danny.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not quite sure what's going on with Ty at the moment, but I'm sure he's going to be in the pits now working hard on the setup. You see Antonio, they lifted hard at the start, and it looked like he was going to go around everyone and join Chris on the 5-1, but he sort of just got a bit out of shape coming off the corner there and went to the back. Ty actually got past him, I believe, for a second there, and yeah, here we go. But, you know, I'm not quite sure what happened with Ty. He was in a good position there. He's looking across at his teammate, but Antonio, yeah, hugged the curb. Ty was sort of in no man's land, didn't quite go deep enough in the dirt line and paid the price, unfortunately. But again, what a move there from Jakob. He just cut hard underneath Antonio, let the bike run to the dirt, and yeah, there you can see again. Brilliant racing.
Yeah, good stuff from Jakob Torshäll there, keeping the flag flying for Wolves, but a brilliant ride from Chris Holder. 2 rides, 2 wins. Let's get some reaction now with Simon Stead.
Yeah, down in the pitch with Chris Holder. Awesome win, mate. You've been in fantastic form at home. I think, is that four meetings out of 5 where you got maximums? Carrying on tonight?
Yeah, I won't tell you why. Yeah, it's going good. Making bikes working nice, so that's the main thing. And you know, as long as the team's doing good and getting points, we need to get a good lead to go to Wolves, and we're doing all right tonight.
Yeah, it's tight at the moment. You're passing on some setups down to the rest of the boys, trying to get them fired up, keep it, try and get some points in between you guys.
Yeah, for sure. We just got to get no last places, you know, get that 4-2s and the 3-alls if they're in front, and trucks making some dirt, but it's like really beachy in the middle of the corners, and it's tough to ride together when it's like that.
Yeah, it looks like you're getting a good ride out there though.
Getting towed around. No, it's all good.
Thanks, guys. Back to the pits.
Simon, thank you very much indeed. Yeah, Chris Holder riding beautifully. Danny King alongside me. Danny, good start. 7 heats gone at both meetings. Nicely poised. I guess Bellevue will be happy at Lakeside because they're only 2 down. And Poole have the opportunity to build on this 4-point lead. Who's going to be the happier here?
It's tough. Probably Bellevue. I mean, I think you know that it's a tough place to go to, Lakeside. And although I think they have got a team that likes little tracks as well as likes little tracks, you know, I think although their track's completely different, they'll be okay there. But it's a tough place to go to. It's not easy ever for any sort of team. They have such big home advantage, more so than probably anyone else in the league. Right,
we're about halfway through our playoff action this evening here at Poole. It's Poole 23, Wolverhampton 19, and they're ready to race, but we've got to take a break at Lakeside, who lead Bellevue 22-20. We'll be back with the action live in a few moments' time. Night semi-finals, and they are not disappointing. Some thrilling racing here at Wimborne Road, Poole, and at the Arena Essex Raceway, and they are very close, tense playoff meetings here at both tracks tonight. Poole 23, Wolverhampton 19, and we're coming up to tapes at Arena Essex for heat number 8. Lakeside Hammers 22, Bellevue Aces 20. Let's join Chris Lilly and Kelvin Tatum.
Yeah, just the 2 points in it now. A terrifically exciting match. It was an encouraging start for the home team, but all credit to the Aces. They have pegged them back. Richard Lawson, the captain of the Lakeside Hammers, he goes off the inside in red. Richie Worrell in yellow, he will go out of gate 2. Lewis Kerr, a couple of rides. He's ridden well so far. He goes out of gate 3 in blue, and off the outside, Stevie Worrell in white. And of course, the Worrell twins got a big 5-1. Their last outing, and they looked pretty accomplished indeed, Chris, and they really are coming to the party this evening.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they looked confident their last one. They were off the inside gates last time, 1 and 3. This time they've got to do it from 2 and 4. That is that little bit more difficult as a pair, I think, because 4 can be a disadvantage.
Yeah, it's a long way from gate 4 here, and sometimes you can look for that cutback, can't you, in the first corner, but Steve Worrell just waxed lyrical a little bit about him. He's had a good season.
Yeah, for so long, Richie Worrell was the leading light of the twins. He, through the National League days, he seemed to be the stronger one of the pair. But over the last 2 seasons, I would say, Stephen Worrell really has come on strong.
He has indeed, and this year he had a terrific British final, of course, and he's been doing sterling work for the Bellevue Aces. Home team under pressure here, just the 2 points in it. captain of the Hammers on the inside, Richard Lawson, plenty of experience these days, needs to come up with a big ride here. Lewis Kerr out of gate 3, away they go. Nip and tuck to the first corner, Lawson just about getting there. Lewis Kerr tucking back to the inside, big move there from the Hammers, but there's no doubt that Richard Lawson, the captain of the Hammers, out in front. Big ride from him. Steve Worrell there. I've got to say, Lewis Kerr coming back into second place. Super ride from him.
Yeah, Lewis Kerr hasn't had the easiest of seasons. He's had a change of machinery, change of club in the Premier League, but that was a determined second lap there, down to on turn 1 and 2, 3 and 4, sorry. He really is pushing on. He's coming under pressure from both Worrell brothers. But if he can keep this together, this is a massive race for the home side.
Well, the home team bouncing back here, just the 2 points before this heat. Just over a lap to go. Richard Lawson going great guns out in front. Lewis Kerr under all sorts of pressure from Richie Worrell. Steve Worrell down the back. Oh, Lawson's made an awful mistake. Just about hanging on. Worrell now diving deeper at the outside. Worrell coming from nowhere into second place. Oh,
on the line.
What a grandstand finish that was. Don't know if Lewis Kerr held on.
I think he did. I think he just held on for that point. What a race.
What a race it was. Once again, it looked fairly plain sailing there for the home team, and suddenly a few mistakes coming into it. The Aces applying pressure throughout the 4 laps. Lawson hangs on, Richie Worrell in second place. Lewis Kerr doing tremendously well just to hang on to third place. What a speedway race.
Yeah, nothing less than he deserved for getting himself up into second place, hanging in there for most of the race. But you can see the mistake from Richard Lawson on the last lap certainly cost Lewis Kerr there a little bit of pace, and we can see the nerves creeping in. It's so tight.
It is tight indeed. It's semi-final play-off time. Richard Lawson, 3 points with him. Richie Worrell riding supremely well for 2 points. Lewis Kerr remarkably hanging on for his third place. And this time, Stevie Worrell misses out. 26 points to 22.
And they're up at tapes here in heat number 8. So Lakeside 26, Bellevue 22. 4 points there and 4 points here in Poole's favour, 23-19. Peter Adams, the Wolves manager, has replaced Max Clegg with Kyle Howarth at reserve here in heat number 8. So it's Krzysztof Peszkowski off the inside gate for the Pirates. Kyle Howarth gate 2 in yellow for Wolverhampton. Kyle Newman, who's been in great form tonight, unbeaten by a Wolves rider, he goes off gate 3 in blue. And Peter Carlson going off the outside in white. Can Wolves keep it close, Danny?
They need to, Nige. I mean, I think they've got to be pretty happy with the scoreline, considering Ty hasn't come to the party yet, you know. No points from 2 rides is not great, but we know what he's capable of. We know he's going to come back. So I think it's going to be a tight end to this meeting, but the PK needs to make a brilliant start for 4, because it's never the best early on.
Yep, heat number 8 it is then here at Wimborne Road. The reigning champions, the Poole Pirates, in the red and blue helmet colours here. Who's going to get there first? It's a great start for the man in red, Krzysztof Peszkowski. Now Newman goes in the high run around the outside, and that works a treat. Howarth is third. Peter Carlson trailing in the back for the Wolves here. But this is great for Poole with Peszkowski and Newman. And now Kyle Howarth is really going to have to work hard. Peter Carlson at the back. It's looking good here. Howarth really working hard to get close to Kyle Newman. Can't quite get there though. Bit of team riding needed here from Poole, Danny.
Yeah, that's right. Kyle's got a lot more speed there, but he keeps making mistakes, really running into the back of Kyle Newman, and then he loses it again. But he needs to try and make the track a little bit bigger and make a clear room for a nice pass. But I think he just lost too much on that last one out. But as you say, the boys well in front now. Looks like they're going to team ride it home in the last lap.
Yeah, looking good here. The Pirates, they're in control of heat number 8. This will double their advantage. They'll go to 8 points, and that's more like it for Poole. They do feel they'll need some sort of handy lead to take to Wolves on Monday. We know what a track Wolverhampton can be, with the Wolves riders loving it on home territory. So Poole do need to take something there, and they've got a big 5-1 in heat number 8. That's a big, big moment for the Poole Pirates, you feel, because they have doubled their advantage in one race. And a good ride from Krzysztof Peszkowski, and a hard-fought ride from Kyle Newman as well. Newman's going to come round and take the applause of the crowd. Wish riders would do more of this. Peszkowski's gone straight back to the pits. You know, I like to see fans applauding riders and showing their appreciation. They can't do that when riders go straight back to the pits. So good to see Kyle Newman taking the applause, and that's much more like it from a Poole Pirates point of view. 5-1, 28-20, and done from the start from Brzkowski.
Yeah, the Poole boys gated perfectly there. You just see PK didn't make a very good one off 4 at all. We all know how hard that is, but he just sort of come out last, and that was where he stood. Cole Howarth had a bit of speed there during the race. I thought at one point he was going to make a bit on the inside, but as you can see there, nearly running to the back of Carl Newman, and unfortunately he just lost all his speed. But once the Poole boys hit the front really and settled down, they were clear and gone.
Yep. Let's get some reaction from the Poole manager, Neil Middleditch, is with Simon Stead.
Yeah, thanks, Nige. 8 points in it, Neil. You'd like some more?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's one of those meetings, isn't it? I mean, it's a semi-final. We knew it was going to be tough, and so it's proving to be.
Yeah, brought Antonio Lynn back in. He was always going to find it a little bit difficult, his first couple of rides, but he's got lots of class. No doubt he's going to finish the meeting well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know, it's a shame he didn't have any practice, and as you say, he's coming here a bit cold, but, you know, determined riding his last one, and hopefully he can finish with a couple of good ones.
Your number one, Chris Holder, he's riding well tonight, though.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's in a rich vein of form at the moment, Chris, and just, you know, he's our talisman, so hopefully the boys can step up their game and support him.
Yeah, how many points do you want, Neil? It's going to be a tough one at Wolverhampton. What would you like to
More happy.
Good luck, mate. Thanks. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Simon. Yes, so the latest state of play then. Poole Pirates 28, Wolverhampton 20. Let's head back to Arena Essex Raceway, where it's the Lakeside Hammers 26, Bellevue Aces 22. But the Aces have that man, Scott Nicholls, in white in heat number 9. Chris Louis, Kelvin Tatum.
Indeed they do, Nige, and Nicholls is unbeaten so far. Heat number 9, the lineup. Lakeside Hammers changing here. They've taken Ben Morley out and they are using Lewis Kern. He will go off the inside in blue. Nicholls unbeaten so far out of gate 2 in white. Lewis Bridger, who had a good opening ride, not quite so good in his second ride, gate 3 in red. And Joe Jacobs, who has found it tough going, he will go from the outside. Just sense here, it's important for the home team really to make sure that at the very least they get a 3-all.
Yeah, that 4-point advantage is an advantage, but they won't consider that enough. Obviously, there's quite a few races still to go, but Scott Nicholls is a tough man to beat round here. Gate 2 will favour him compared to Gate 4 that he had last time out, but I think the Bellevue Aces will be looking to Joe Jacobs maybe to just get on the point scoring board here.
Well, they'll be certainly hoping so. Mark Lemon, their team manager, will be desperate for his man to try and make some points here tonight. But you're dead right, Chris. Superstar from Scott Nicholls out of gate number 2. Lewis Bridger now coming into second place. He goes ripping down the back straight. He's got himself into trouble out wide in the bottom corner. Louis Kerr back in third place with Joe Jacobs out the back. Nicholls once again just majestic. Really does look silky smooth, super confident. The former British champion really riding nicely tonight.
Yeah, a little mistake from Scott there, but ultimately he puts the bike exactly where he wants it. Talking to him before the meeting, he said this place has got a little trickier to ride. It's a little bit bumpy going into the corners, and it's hard to be pinpoint accurate, but he seems to be having no problems out front whatsoever.
None at all. Plain sailing for Scott Nicholls, the captain of the Bellevue Aces, riding supremely well. Lewis Bridger back in third place. Louis Kerr getting in a little bit of trouble. Joe Jacobs having a hard time out the back, but Scott Nicholls, it's all about him here. Picks up a very impressive win once again. 3 points to his name, 3 rides, 3 wins. Terrific stuff from the captain of the Bellevue Aces. 4 points in it. And as you rightly say, they will want more than that, the home team, to take to Bellevue next week. But Scott Nicholls really is doing the business.
Scott did say in his interview with Sophie that they didn't want last places. Well, they've had 7 so far, Kelvin.
But they're still right there. And Scott Nicholls picks up 3 points. Lewis Bridger back in second place. Lewis Kerr coming in for consecutive rides. He's in third. And Joe Jacobs is finding it tough going this evening. He failed to score. But be interesting to see this ride again from the tapes, won't it? Scott Nicholls really riding so well.
All from the tapes this one. Scott Nicholls working the clutch hard, comes from gate 2, does his job, gets across the rider off gate 1. That's Lewis Kerr on this particular occasion. Lewis just making a mistake in the first turn, losing his momentum. You see Lewis Kerr battling with the bike. He knows he's got to beat Scott Nicholls to the corner, but he can't do it.
Super ride from Scott Nicholls, and we're going to be able to hear more from him. He's with Sophie.
Thanks very much. Yeah, Mark, just 4 points in it at the moment.
Yeah, no, real good. Obviously, that's how we want to keep it nice and tight. And, you know, obviously, few boys having good nights and some of them having off nights, but yeah, that's been the good thing about the Aces this year. Collectively, we've united as a team and got the results, so pushing on.
Well, unfortunately for Joe, though, he's not liking the track this evening, is it? This is, I think, as he has put himself, he hates this one.
Yeah, Joe's obviously he's had his year out of the sport and he's come back into it, and obviously the Elite League is no easy option, and his confidence is really good at home, and that's working. We need to carry it away, but poor old Joe's actually been struggling with gastro the last couple of days. He missed his trip to Newcastle on Sunday with Ipswich, so he was sort of a bit of a doubt starter, but we put faith in him and he's coming in, he's doing his best, but yeah, we kind of need him to chip in, but
that's not pleasant in most circumstances, let alone trying to race a bike.
No, I've been keeping my distance, trust me.
I suggest you should do for the rest of it all anyway. Well, best of luck to you. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, thank you, Sophie. Lakeside 29, Bellevue 25, and here at Poole, the scoreline is actually 28-20. 28-20 is the score in favour of Poole. So as we build up to heat number 9, Brady Kurtz and Adam Ellis up against this man, the world champion Ty Woffenden, and this is a big race for Woffenden now, Danny King.
That's right, Nigel. He's had an awful start, really. I mean, I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I don't know if it's bike issues or what, but every time he seems to get in a good position, he seems to go back to the back. So I'm sure he's had a long, hard look at his bike and tried to work out what's going on, and we'll certainly need him now more than ever.
Yep, Adam Ellis goes off the inside in blue. Ty Woffenden goes off gate 2 in white. Won the league with Wolves back in 2009. That was the last time Wolves were Elite League champions. Brady Kurtz goes off gate 3 in red for the Pirates. Kyle Howarth going off the outside for his 4th ride of the night, gate 4. Now, Woffenden, twice World Speedway champion and British champion as well, of course, before the man alongside me took that mantle earlier this summer, Danny King. But Woffenden with those 2 last places, if he can win his last 2 rides, then Wolves have got a chance of keeping it close, have they not, Danny?
They have. It's, they need it. There's no other option. Ty needs to come to the party. He's not had the greatest start to the night. I'm not sure why, as I say, but hopefully he's fixed that now, and he's going to make a start here.
What a start from Woffenden off gate number 2. He's got there ahead of the rest. He has the advantage now. Brady Kurtz is there in red and Adam Ellis in blue. Kurtz is going to take up the challenge. The man at the back is Kyle Howarth, who's been out-trapped here early on, but Brady Kurtz has got some speed. He's going to have a real go, the young Australian. When Ty Woffenden finally has got his setup together. Kyle Howarth now putting a bit of squeeze on Adam Ellis at the back. This is going to be interesting. Howarth charges up the inside. Howarth takes it to the fence. Oh, and Kyle Howarth has got 3rd place.
What a corner that was. I mean, Adam Ellis had nowhere to go. I think he actually clipped the bottom of the air fence there and got all out of shape. How he stayed on, God only knows. But Ty Woffenden certainly now, I don't know if he's changed bikes or just changed the setup, but he's flying out front, and this is exactly what Wolverhampton needs.
Yep, and a race advantage for the Wolves will peg it back to 6 points. Was Howarth a little bit harsh on Ellis there, I wonder? We'll get your thoughts after, Danny. But it's Ty Woffenden who's going to take the checkered flag for the Wolverhampton Wolves in heat number 9. A win for Woffenden, his first one of the evening. Takes the checkered flag and 3 points to his name. Still only 3 from 3 rides, but he can only do what he can do from now on after 2 last places. Whatever the problem was, he's obviously sorted it. He was team riding in his opening ride when he slipped up a place or 2. But the Poole fans are far from happy with Kyle Howarth's move on Adam Ellis there. It's a 4-2 to Wolverhampton. And it's now Poole 30, Wolves 24. Wolves will be happy with that. But Danny, your thoughts on the Ellis-Howarth incident? Was it harsh?
To be honest, Nigel, I'd like to see it again because it's being down the other end there. I didn't get quite a clear view of it, but as you can see there, Ty made a brilliant start. I think it looks like he's on the same bike, so he just must have made some changes to obviously help out. He seemed to be lacking speed early on. Hopefully we'll get another view of the pass here. Now here's Howarth now coming down the inside. Yeah, he's got more speed than Ellis, and yeah, basically just runs him up the fence. Adam had no more track. He just run out of room. If he had come down, I'm pretty sure Howarth might have even got excluded. Was there contact? I don't know. Nah, it's a tough one, Nigel. He left him no track. Ellis had no other option, and how he stayed on is a bit beyond me. But
if it happened to you, what would you have said?
I'd have said I'd have told him I wasn't happy about it, but maybe in a bit more different words than that.
That's Speedway, Poole 30, Wolves 24, Lakeside 29, Bellevue 25. We're up for heat number 10. Let's get the latest then from Chris and Kelvin.
Tough Speedway tonight. No quarter given or asked for, that's for sure. Heat number 10 here at the Arena Essex Raceway with Matty Zagar, winner last time out. Much more like his old self. He goes from the inside gate in white. Eddie Kennett, who just ran out of steam in his last ride, goes out of gate 2 in red. Steve Worrell, he goes out of gate 3 in yellow. And Kim Nilsson, he will go out of gate 4 in blue. Important race when you look at the lineup here, Chris. On paper, a strong lineup for the home team here. They're going to need a heat advantage.
Yeah, they are. Kim Nilsson's going to find it tough, obviously coming from the outside gate. He's had a couple of race wins already tonight and looked pretty good. He's in control, and he's going to need to get out there with Eddie Kennett, banging 5 big points.
They are indeed. They're settling down. Star Marshall's happy. He walks away. Nick Bates, the referee's got the light on. It's an even break. Terrific there, but the aces have gone to the first corner. Zagar and Worrell. Worrell going wide. Kennett up the inside, but Worrell recovers brilliantly down the back straight. Zagar now really has found the key to the track. Kim Nilsson out the back, right up the inside. Kennett riding well there. Coming up into second place, an important move there. Oh, Kim Nilsson all out of shape at the back.
Yeah, this one's down to Eddie Kennett for the home side now. He's giving chase to Matty Zagar. He's got a smooth run around the outside, but Zagar seems to be getting quicker with each lap, and Eddie Kennett is not going to give up on this one. He keeps making a comeback on that turn, and he just can't quite build the momentum to get past Matty Zagar at the end of the straight.
Zagar out in front, Kennett with a lap to go, charging hard in second place. Kim Nilsson is out the back after that mistake early on. Zagar out in the dirt, Kennett down the back straight for the last time, running in deep round turns 3 and 4, but Zagar's got that move coming on the road to the line, it's tied! Oh! Zagar just about hanging on. Terrific effort from Kennett in second place. Big result for the Bellevue Aces there, taking advantage of gates 1 and 3. Super Speedway once again.
Edward Kennett worked so hard in that race to try and overhaul that man Matty Zagar, but it wasn't to be. Zagar seems to have found his setup after struggling in his first ride. A couple of race wins, great stuff from him.
Super ride from Zagar there, showing his class, had to hang on in the end, 3 points. Eddie Kennett really riding hard in second place, super stuff from him. Steve Worrell in third, and the luckless Kim Nilsson, he's out the back. Big result that for the Aces. I would think Mark Lemon, their team manager, would be looking at that as a drawn heat at the very best, but they come up trumps here. Super start from the Aces from gates 1 and 3, Chris.
Super start, Matty Zagar. A little bit surprising now. I would have thought he'd have seen his teammate. He dashes straight for the dirt, leaving Stevie Worrell with really no options but to cut back. This is where we see Edward Kennett now down on turn 4. Rounds up Stevie Worrell reasonably easily, but he just cannot find that kind of pace to get past Matty Zagar out front. Matty settled down to his own rhythm, pretty much pinpoint accuracy on the track, rode exactly where he wanted to from the front, and Edward Kennett not able to do anything about it, but a great result for the Aces.
The run to the line, it was tight between Zagar and Kennett. Super Speedway, just the 2 points in it here. The Lakeside Hammers on 31, the Bellevue Aces on 29.
Great stuff, Chris and Kelv. Great effort from Eddie Kennett, or Edward Kennett, I should say. Matty Zagar holding out there. Heat number 10 here at Poole. Neil Middleditch has brought in Kyle Newman for Bjarne Pedersen. It's Freddie Lindgren off the inside in white for the Wolves. Kyle Newman for Bjarne Pedersen, a reserve switch off 2 in red. Peter Carlson for the Wolves, gate 3 in yellow and black. And Antonio Limbach off the outside in blue. He's found it tough on his return tonight, Danny.
He has. It's not an easy place to come back to, but I know he did plenty of laps here back in the day, but I think it's been quite a few years since he last rode here. But he's had a couple of rides now to settle down. He's not on the favoured gate here, but hopefully he can make it work and get around the outside on this first corner.
Yep, good start from gate 1 of Freddie Lindgren in white. Newman's going wide though. Now Limbach is going to try to cut on the inside to pass Peter Carlson, and he's got there. Super ride from Antonio Limbach. The lead here is with Freddie Lindgren. Second place is Kyle Newman. Newman has got a lot of pace though, and he's trying to hunt down Freddie Lindgren. Limbach is third, and Peter Carlson at the back, but Peter Carlson still on the pace. As things stand, it's a shared heat in Heat 10, Danny.
Yeah, that's right. Limbach's sort of trying to cover the whole track there. I'm not sure if he's just trying to team ride with Newman or not, but I think he's settled down a bit now. PK, unfortunately, at the back again didn't make a great start, but the lead was past Freddie. You know, he made a brilliant first corner, and he's leading by example.
Yeah, this is a good ride from Freddie Lindgren. He has qualified for next year's Grand Prix by snatching a spot in the Grand Prix Challenge, so that's a huge weight off his shoulders. So he's done before. selector playing up there. I hope that's not going to be too much of a problem for him later on in the race, but it's actually his cover, bike cover, but it looks like he's going to do enough to hang on here. Lindgren the winner, second place Kyle Newman, so a good switch from Neil Middleditch there to bring Newman in for Pedersen, who's out of form tonight, and Antonio Lindback, winner of Cardiff of course this year. Cardiff next year, by the way, has been announced for July the 22nd at the Principality Stadium. Lindgren will be there at Cardiff next July. He's in the GP, as we say, and I'm sure every Speedway fan will be looking for, my goodness, what's going on with the bike here? Graham Jones, his mechanic. Don't need a fire extinguisher, do we?
No, I think I'm not sure if his chain's getting a bit too hot or if it was something to do with his cover falling off there, Nige. Not 100% sure, but sometimes the chains do get hot, and when you spray them afterwards they smoke a bit, but that was quite a lot of smoke, so I'm not quite sure what was going on.
Yep. So it's a win for Freddie Lindgren, a very impressive ride from Lindgren then. Second place was Kyle Newman for the Pirates, and third went to Antonio Lindback, who's got 2+1 from 3 rides, and Peter Carlson at the back on that occasion. 6 points in it with 5 to go in the first leg of this semi-final. Poole 33, Wolves 27.
Yeah, as you can see here, looking back now, fast Freddie on the inside, making it work. Yeah, stayed tight, got that grip down low. Newman tried a big blast around the outside, as you can see. Looked like he was going to cut back under Freddie at one point, but didn't quite have enough speed. Yeah, fast Freddie again, as you can see, letting it run out wide. Yeah, that is his bike cover off at the back there. That happens quite a lot these days. Not quite sure why it's not fastened on properly, but maybe that was something to do with the reason why his bike was smoking afterwards.
Yeah, good ride from Freddie Lindgren. Let's get some reaction with Simon Stead.
Thanks, Nige. Down here with Ty Wolverhampton. Ty, tough start to the meeting, but you've managed to keep it close as a team, and importantly for you, you've just had a first race win.
Yeah, an embarrassing few races, but the boys are doing their job and getting the points, you know, so it's pretty close, and yeah, I've obviously found a lot better setup than the first few races, so that's nice.
Yeah, big change for you after the first couple?
Yeah, it was a pretty drastic change from the first race to the second race, and then another drastic one. But I feel like we've got something now. It's you know, the weather's a bit funny here tonight, and I haven't rode here for a long time, but you know, no excuses. Yeah, on to the next.
Yeah, I read that, you know, you'd been finding the setup hard to come by because, you know, you've been used to riding the bigger tracks in Sweden and Poland, come back to England and you needed less power and you felt like you'd had too much.
Yeah, for sure, you know. In the first few races, the thing was just spinning so much, and it was hard to get the thing hooking up, but you know, we found something in that last one, and you know, the change from European tracks to UK tracks is so big, and you know, I think this is my 6th meeting in the UK now, and you know, I'm still finding it hard to figure it out, but yeah, we keep pushing. It's a good challenge, and I love a challenge.
Importantly for you, lets you continue your racing, Grand Prix series still running, still fighting at the top of that, mate. It's important for you to keep racing, keep fit, and help you with your Grand Prix series as well.
Yeah, for sure, you know, but you know, GPs and Poland aside, you know, we want to win the league here at Wolverhampton, and you know, that's the main focus when I'm here in the UK, and when I go to Poland I kind of forget about UK and the GPs, and same when I go to the GPs. So you know, it's like I said, it's a nice little challenge for me, and you know, I'm enjoying it.
Good luck for the rest of the meeting, side. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you, Simon. Danny King alongside me. Danny, how do you feel now at this stage of the meeting? 33-27. How will Neil Middleditch feel, and how will Peter Adams, the Wolves manager, feel right now?
I think Peter Adams will be a bit more positive. Ty's come to the party now, as you said. He's obviously got the setup sorted. He was just saying in his interview there that he made some big changes, and it's you know, he's been struggling a bit. He's admitted that, and I think that's very brave of him, to be honest. You know, he could easily make up an excuse, I suppose, but you know, riding on the continent to riding in England is really, really different. It's such a big difference, track size, everything. So now he's here, he's got all the experience in the world, let's be honest, so he's got the setup. Hopefully they can push on now, and who knows what they're going to be at the end of the meeting. Well,
there's the team manager, Peter Adams, with Freddie Lindgren on your left, Peter Carlson on the right. Wolverhampton 6 down here, but what about at Lakeside tonight now? It's very close and very tense there. Let's bring in Chris and Kelvin. Kelvin, what are your thoughts so far then on this meeting, you two boys? Over to you.
Well, I would suggest for the home team, it's too tight for comfort, really, Nigel. And Chris, indeed, there's been, you know, they started strongly with that 5-1 in heat number 1, but all credit to the aces. They've battled back hard, and they're putting a lot of pressure on the home team.
They are. They know they've got to do that. They've been winning at home, but not by too many. I think they'll be confident going home against Lakeside. But yeah, they've got to keep in touch, and they're doing exactly that. It's their big guns are banging in the big scores. Scott Nichols told us he didn't want last places. They've had lots of them, but fortunately for them, they've been winning races as well.
They have. They've been winning plenty of races, but there's also been some mistakes from the home team. They've been in heat winning positions and just feeling the pressure later in the races.
Yeah, we've seen mistakes from Eddie Kinnock, Kim Nielsen, Richard Lawson in one. He managed to hang on, but he sort of messed his teammate up. So, yeah, they're feeling the pressure, I think. And this is the sort of track, if you feel the pressure, you start to ride a little bit tight, a little bit tense. And once you do that, you're going to make mistakes around here because it's a difficult track to get round.
It is hard work. There's 5 races to go, of course, and the home team can battle their way back. It's going to be tough. It's Super Speedway, Nigel, as it is at Wimborne Road.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Thanks, Kel. 31.29 there, and here 33.27 to the Poole Pirates. Both ties nicely poised. We have 5 heats remaining here, 5 heats remaining at Lakeside, and 5 crucial heats which could go a long way to deciding the outcome over 2 legs. More live Playoff Speedway is coming in a few moments' time. Playoff Speedway here on Sky Sports at Wimborne Road, Poole, and at Arena Essex Raceway, the home of the Lakeside Hammers, where both meetings are fairly tight so far. Wolverhampton are just hanging on to Poole's coattails here at Wimborne Road. The world champion Ty Woffenden came to the party in his last outing. Meanwhile, at Arena Essex, Lakeside 31, Bellevue 29. 33.27 to Poole here, but just 2 in it at Lakeside. Let's go through heat number 11 now with Chris Louis and Kelvin Tatum.
Thanks very much, Nigel. The captain of the Lakeside Hammers coming out now in rider replacement for the injured Andreas Jonsson. He will go out of gate number 2, but on the inside, Max Frick will go out of there in white, who struggled tonight, in truth. Lawson going out of gate 2 in red. Craig Cook, he's in yellow and black, he'll go out of gate 3. And Lewis Bridger, who's been riding really hard and had an encouraging opening ride, he goes off the outside in blue. And just the 2 points in it. And I've got to say, the Bellevue Aces have done really well. They are pushing the home team all the way.
They have done well, Kelvin, and I've got to say that I think the home side have the rough draw now with the outside gates in probably 3 of these last 5 races, at least, or if not 4. So, yeah, I think it's an uphill battle from here from the home side to build up any sort of lead to take to the National Speedway Stadium.
Yeah, it's been a tough night, and all credit to the Bellevue Aces so far. They have battled really hard. And when you consider a rider out here in this particular race, Max Frick, has failed to score so far, there's no doubt that they are doing remarkably well to hang in there with the Lakeside Hammers, who are missing a rider themselves, of course. Andreas Jonsson, on the evidence so far, has been a miss. But Max Frick, no points from 2 rides, that's a surprise. So here we go, settling down now. Heat number 11 about to get underway. The green light is on and away they go. Richard Lawson's made a terrific start out of gate number 2. Super ride from him. Lewis Bridger. Super move from Bridger up the inside to get himself into 3rd place. Very nearly getting the better of Craig Cook. Lawson out in front. Here comes Cook in 2nd place. Super opening lap of Speedway there. Cook in 2nd place. Oh my goodness. Lewis Bridger almost turning the bike inside out. Dramatic stuff from him.
Yeah, it's a shame for Lewis Bridger, just made that mistake, lost his pace, and now he's dropped back. He was putting Craig Cook under pressure, which in turn was making it difficult for him to make any clean lines on Richard Lawson, but he's got himself a clean run now, and he's not letting Richard get away, but Richard's handling the pressure pretty well so far.
He is indeed, but Cook's right there. There's a lap to go. Lawson leaves the door open. Cook comes charging up the inside. Lawson then replaces the compliment. Cook winds it up down the back straight. Fabulous speedway here in heat number 11. Craig Cook has ridden out of the skid there to win that race. What a ride from Craig Cook. Really was impressive to come through to get the better of Richard Lawson. Super speedway.
Just the sort of ride that can clinch a tie, and that was an important race for him. You can see what it means to him. Look at him.
Absolutely delighted. He was riding so well there. Lawson didn't do too much wrong, in truth. Cook just had too much pace for him. Cook winning in style. Brilliant ride from him. Picks up the 3 points. Lawson will be disappointed Would have felt he would have had that. He's in second place. Lewis Bridger back in third. And Max Frick once again failing to score. But what a race it was.
Yeah, with Max Frick failing to score, it was important for Craig Cook to work his way to the front. And he does that in style towards the end of the race. Richard Lawson did everything like Kelvin. He made a great start, even better first turn, and looked comfortable for 3 laps. But that move there, Craig Cook, that was a textbook move that he learned from Edinburgh, those tight corners, and he made it stick, which is difficult to do, but fantastic stuff from him.
Brilliant stuff there from Craig Cook, coming through at a vital win for the Bellevue Aces. Still just the 2 points in it.
Yeah, not enough for Lakeside, you feel, when there's just 2 points in it like that. Bellevue scrapping away. Craig Cook magnificent there to get past Richard Lawson. This is heat number 11 now here at Wimborne Road. It is Poole 33, Wolverhampton 27. Wolverhampton off 1 and 3 here with Torshell off the inside in white. Chris Holder unbeaten by an opposing rider off gate 2 in red. Sam Masters for Wolves, also unbeaten by an opposing rider, gate 3 yellow. And Brady Kurtz off the outside in blue, 6+1 from 3 rides for Brady. He's off the outside in yellow. Another big race coming up here, 33-27, Poole have it right now. And away from the start, it's a good one from Torshell, but Holder is going to try and get the drop. Torshell has got to go wide here, and he's done that. Nice ride from Jakob Torshell coming through. Brady Kurtz into second spot, battling with Sam Masters. Jakob Torshell has the lead. Chris Holder is second, and now Masters has come through into third. Pole's on a 4-2, but maybe not for long. Great ride from Chris Holder.
Yeah, we've got a fantastic ride at the back here, Nige. Sam made a bit of a mistake in the first one. He went for the dirt line. He went for the dirt line and it just wasn't there after the big track race, but he managed to get back, but now Brady's back up, you know. Holder again, he's unreal, he's got plenty of speed tonight. Purcell managed to get past him for a split second there, but unfortunately Holder's got too much experience.
Yeah, Chris Holder looking good. That's a battle for third with Kurtz hanging on right now in blue. Masters at the back. Torshell's got speed here. He's really trying to close that gap. These two will be battling it out in the Friends Arena in Stockholm at the weekend in the GP as well. Torshell the wild card. But a great ride from Chris Holder. Wonderful ride from the 2012 world champion. He's up for it tonight, all right. Jakob Torshell second. Brady Kurtz past Sam Masters, who's dropped points for the first time tonight, and that restores an 8-point lead for Poole. They'll feel a lot happier about that with 4 heats to go here at Wimborne Road, and Chris Holder absolutely immaculate tonight. And even when he has to do it the hard way, he does it in style, he celebrates in style. It's Chris Holder, Poole's number 1.
Yeah, he was absolutely brilliant there, Nigel. He didn't panic. Jakob did get past him there for a second, but he just composed himself and managed to make the move stick when he passed back and won with ease, really. But the race was really at the back. Brady and Sam, you know, they passed a repass for a few laps, and you know, it's good to see some good racing, but unfortunately it just slight advantage there for the Pirates.
Yep. Holder, Torshell, Kurtz, Masters. It's a 4-2 to Poole. 37-29. They now lead the Wolves with 4 heats to go.
That's right, as you can see here, Sam, he went for the big run, which we've been working earlier on, but in the interval there, they did quite a big track grade, and they took a lot of the dirt off, and obviously it just wasn't enough there to fire him round, but he managed to get past Brady for a second, but Brady managed to get back up the inside. Here we're seeing it now, yeah, he just went a little bit too wide, and as I say, there wasn't the dirt out there as there was earlier on, and it's just caught him out, basically, but yeah, what can you say? Here's Holder's now the move. He just kept his composure, lifted a little bit there off the corner, and managed to pick off Jakob and take the win.
Yep, good ride indeed. We're getting down to the business end of the first leg here. So far, so good for Poole. And Bellevue will be the happier of the two sides at Lakeside, I would think, at this stage. Chris Louis and Kelvin Tatum.
Can't disagree with you, Nigel. Just 2 points in it. The Aces have ridden well. Race is running out now. We're up to heat number 12 for the home team to try and stretch that lead out. Kerr on the inside going out of there in blue. Jacobs found it tough tonight. Goes out of gate 2 in yellow and black. Ben Morley, just the 1 point for his name. He needs a decent ride, and Richie Wild has been riding terrifically well. They're settling down. Here we go, heat number 12. Big race here against Worrell from the outside. Jumps to start, but I've got to say, Kerr does remarkably well there to get the better of the opposition. Thought for a moment, Chris, that Richie Worrell had made a really good fist of it, but Kerr got there, certainly got the better of it around the first corner.
Yeah, Richie Worrell was determined off the start. They clashed handlebars, and he's determined in that turn too as he roars up the inside. And Lewis Kerr's having none of it. More importantly, Joe Jacobs is getting involved. We know he's not feeling very well, but it looks like Ben Morley's going to make the pass at the back now. That could be crucial. It's a heat advantage as they stand now to the home side.
Terrific stuff from Louis Kerr there, no doubt about that. Richie Worrell had made such a good initial jump from the outside, but doesn't get there. Ben Morley found points hard to come by. Jacobs almost getting off the bike. He's now faded and he's out of the action, but hugely important result for the home team here. One last corner, one last effort from Louis Kerr. Super 3 points for him. Richie Worrell coming through strongly in second place. And Ben Morley riding solidly for the vital third place.
Lewis Kerr is having an absolutely fantastic night. He's 10 points already and looking good. You know, he's had a tough season, but he's handling the pressure well. He handled the pressure from Richie Worrell there fantastically well. Vital race win for him.
Very much so. Louis Kerr coming up trumps just when they needed it. Too close for comfort. 4 points in it now. Kerr wins the race on 3 points. Richie Worrell coming on strong in second place, just not quite enough. Ben Morley solid in third. Joe Jacobs is finding it very difficult here at the Arena Essex Raceway, but once again from the tapes.
Big race for the home side. They had the inside gates. That's the last time I think they'll see those tonight. And Lewis Kerr jumps into the first turn. See Richie Worrell, he had a good go from the off, but you could see the angle of Richie Worrell's bike there. He's already looking across to see who's made the start. Unfortunately for him, that's Lewis Kerr. He's there in front of him. Makes the cutback now. This first lap is really determined for Richie Worrell. You can see here, tries to force his way up the inside. No more than a couple of inches between them there, but Lewis Kerr, steadfast, stepped to his guns, and a great ride from him.
Terrific ride from Louis Kerr. He's enjoying a terrific night of Speedway, and I do believe he's with Sophie right now.
He is indeed, Lewis. That was a great race. You did what Lakeside needed then.
Yes, made a good start, and I knew what Richie was going to do, so went straight to the dirt, and he ran me close.
You're back to a 4-point lead. Not quite what you've been hoping for, but there's still a few races to go.
Yeah, that's right. We, we need to hit him hard now and take him up to Bellevue with a good lead.
Do you think the team are missing AJ tonight?
It's not ideal, is it? Our number one, but all the boys are digging in deep and see what we can do.
All right, best of luck. Thank you.
So it's Lakeside 38, Bellevue 34 at Arena Essex, and here at Poole, we're up to heat number 12, a repeat of heat 2. And it is Poole 37, Wolves 29, but Danny King, heat 2, sort of 5-1 to Poole. And if they get that here, they'll be 12 up with 3 to go and sitting pretty, I'd suggest.
Yeah, Wolves really need to try and do something here, but unfortunately for Max Clegg, he's off the dreaded gate 4. So, if I was him, I'd be trying to look to do an early cutback and try and get in a good position coming off the corner, because it's really important now that these Wolves boys step it up and try and get some points back.
Well, we've got Ty Woffenden there willing to help Max Clegg out as well. The 2 minutes time allowance is well and truly on. Woffenden was there to offer some support. He's going back towards the pits though. Clegg doesn't need it. I think he just came back just to pass a message on. I'm okay, I'm going to get on with it. But he's yet to score, Clegg. It's been a tough night for him. He was taken out of his third ride. He's been on great form for Edinburgh. He's been on great form for Wolverhampton in home meetings around Monmouth. And of course, in the National League with Cradley as well, he's been in inspirational form. But round here tonight, he's found it a little bit tough. Off the inside here in blue is Kyle Newman. Kyle Howarth goes off gate number 2 in yellow and black for the Wolves. Gate 3 in red is Adam Ellis for Poole. And Max Clegg off the outside in white. A tall order for Wolverhampton here, you feel, Danny?
I do, mate. Yeah, it's as I say, gate 4 is never ideal here at Poole. It gets so hard so quickly because everyone's riding across it every race. So you really need to try and plan that first corner. And as I say, it's going to be tough for Max here. But if he can just get a half-decent jump and make a good first turn, you get into points with scoring position.
Heat number 12. Here we go. Now that's a good start from Kyle Howarth off gate number 2. He can hold that. That'll be a great result for Wolverhampton. He's made a super start indeed. Kyle Howarth riding nicely here. Newman is going to chase hard after him. Adam Ellis is there in red, but Max Clegg at the back once again. But Kyle Howarth doubles up with the Sheffield Tigers in the Premier League. Riding nicely here. He'll leave here tonight. He'll make the long journey up to South Yorkshire and ride for Sheffield tomorrow against Somerset in the League Cup. there, so he's on a busy schedule right now, but Howarth looking good here.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying out front, Nigel. He really controlled the first corner perfectly there and composed himself down the back straight. He's letting it run up a bit deeper, which I think he needed to do a bit earlier. Howarth was nipping up the inside and Carl wasn't quite riding wide enough, but he needs to hold it on now. He's riding a perfect line, just one more lap to go.
Well, Newman's going to have a real go here down that back straight. Kyle Newman! What a move from Newman! Down to the line they go! And Kyle Newman's a hero for Poole in heat number 12. That 4-2 opens up a 10-point gap with 3 heats to go in this first leg of the playoff semi-final. Kyle Howarth led it for the majority, but Kyle Newman never knows when he's beaten Danny King.
Not at all. What a brilliant ride there from Kyle Newman. I mean, he didn't give up. He composed himself. He could see, I think, that Kyle Howarth wasn't quite riding wide enough in the dirt line, and he built his speed up and made the perf perfectly there. It's a shame for Kyle Howarth, as I say, because he really controlled that first turn brilliantly, but at the end of the day, Kyle Newman read it and he made a perfect move.
You could spot that Kyle Howarth wasn't riding the right line. It's one of those as a rider, I guess, where you have to try and read the track and read the situation, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, certainly on this corner, he wasn't quite drifting up to the dirt line. He was riding near it, but not quite in it, and Kyle Newman was, and that's where he managed to generate that little bit more speed. As you can see here again, watch how he controlled this first bend. Made sure he hit that soft stuff off the corner and led down the back straight, but Kyle Newman here, you know, he just let it wind up round the outside, built up his speed, and unfortunately for Kyle Howarth there, because he rode a brilliant race, but obviously a brilliant result for Poole.
Yeah, great stuff. Good speedway. Great move from Kyle Newman in the blue helmet colour. You never know in crucial races like this, Danny. This could decide a tie over two legs. A move like this.
Oh, absolutely. You know, all these sort of results are important in the playoffs. You know, they need to take as many points as they can with them to Wolverhampton, and yeah, look at that move from Kyle. He really lined it out well. You know, credit to him. He got him deep in the dirt, took the turn back, and managed to dive bomb him down the bottom bend.
Real crowd pleaser, Kyle. He's alongside Hans Anderson, who's here to support his team tonight. They're up at tapes at Lakeside Den for heat number 13. And it's 38-34 to Lakeside. Poole 41, Wolves 31 here. Let's head to heat 13 at Lakeside with Chris and Kelf.
Terrific speedway throughout the evening here, there's no question about that. It's awfully tight, too tight for the home team, you would suggest. They've stretched the lead back out to 4 points. Cook goes off the inside in yellow. Kim Nielsen, who's had a tough night, he's out of gate 2 in blue. Zagar out of gate 3 in white. And Lewis Bridger coming in as rider replacement. He goes from the outside in red. Green light's on. Oh, Cook's jumped the start. Red light's got to come on.
Yeah, it was fairly straightforward, that one, I would suggest. Just guess that one.
Well, I tell you what, I want to see that again, Chris, because that was some jumping of the start. Don't see any need for riders to go off the track at all. He's jumped very early there, and Cook's, I would think,
doesn't look like he's touched him, but no, difficult to tell.
Yeah,
this would be the angle.
No, he's a lucky boy.
Very lucky.
So the 2-minute warning has come on immediately, but even so, Craig Cook has pulled up on the side of the back straight and having some attention to his bike. Touch fortunate there. Zagar is now back. In actual fact, Zagar may actually be excluded for that. If you leave the track without any warnings, be interested to see if the referee will exclude Zagar for that. Here we see it now. Zagar wanting to leave the track, but you're not actually allowed to. Will be interesting to see what the outcome is there. The referee is actually looking at the rule right as we speak, so there's no question that Zagar is under threat of an exclusion.
Yeah, my understanding of the rules is that because it's a tapes infringement, it shouldn't leave the track.
No, so right, let's get some reaction now with Sophie.
Yeah, I'm just talking to John now. There seems to be quite a lot of confusion going on. You're waiting to hear what the ref's going to say now.
Yeah, well, the referee said White will be excluded for leaving the track, so obviously that gives us a little bit of an advantage if that's the case. But obviously Paul's over the phone there making sure that is the case, and maybe we've made a couple of mistakes on track tonight that have cost us a couple of points, you know. Rich getting Lewis's way, and then Eddie losing it in the final bend and getting caught on the line. So, you know, if that is the case, which it seems to be, because there seems to be a lot of happy Hammers fans in the background, then at that point we've maybe that's a luck turn. So yeah.
You think it's the guys basically feeling the pressure tonight? I know you said earlier, you know, underdogs and feeling a bit more relaxed, but obviously the pressure's getting to them a bit.
Yeah, I just think that we haven't won races. Some of the boys haven't won the races early enough that they thought they would. Probably Eddie's a case in point. You know, he's been absolutely fantastic all season. He just hasn't managed to get the race win today. So hopefully, you know, that he can put that right in his last ride. But you know, we're there or thereabouts. You know, we're in it. It's a very close meeting. Of course, it would be. It's a playoff, and we're racing against the league champions.
Absolutely.
So when you're out against a team that's dominated the season all year, you know, you're not going to expect it to be a walk in the park. So. They know that they've got to keep as close as they can to us. They're trying to do that. We're trying to get away. Cat and mouse stuff, exciting, some good stuff out there. And then when we come to Monday, we'll be thoroughly looking forward to, you know, returning the favour.
Fantastic. Thanks very much,
Son.
John. Thank you.
Well, drama there. I have seen that earlier this season where a rider has left the track when there wasn't an incident and he was excluded, and there's no doubt that Zagar left the track. Richie Worrell now replacing Zagar, and so it's all sorts of shenanigans going on. But let's get back to Poole with Simon Stead.
Yeah, thanks, Kelvin. Down in the pits with Kyle Newman. We spoke earlier, Kyle, where you said your bike felt perfect. That gave you the confidence to go and pull that move off. Absolutely awesome ride.
Yeah, I'm feeling the best I've done all season. It's taken long enough for it to come, but yeah, probably my worst start all night. But I knew where the dirt was, and I knew the move that I was going to probably leave me prone to him getting me back, so I had to wait till the last lap to do it.
Have you changed anything with your bikes? You said it's the best it's felt all season. Is there anything that you've done different?
Last meeting here we played about a little bit, and I took a step backwards to go 2 steps forwards kind of thing, and we reverted to an older setup, and it's working, and yeah, bike feels good, I feel good, so just got to keep from here.
Yeah, team's doing well. You're building the points up. Neil said ideally you'd like to have 10 points. I'm sure as riders you'd like to get more.
Yeah, we want as many as we can because Wolves are a very tough team. It's a special track as well, so we've got to try and rack up as many points as we can to take there because we know they're going to come back at us.
Well done, Kyle. Good luck for the rest of the meeting. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Simon. It's dramatic scenes here. There's no question of that will not have pleased the Bellevue Aces or Matty Zagar, Chris, but the rule is there, and I've seen it implemented on more than one occasion this year.
Yeah, it's ironic. It's a rule that's brought in to speed the running of meetings up, but of course when it's implemented it slows it down considerably.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Difficult sentence. Zagar quite clearly frustrated with that. He was back to winning ways in his previous 2 rides. Got a wry smile there, but doubt will be hurting and will feel aggrieved that he shouldn't have been excluded, but a possible opportunity now for the home team without the #1 man from the Aces. So we'll do the line-up. Cook off the inside in yellow, Nielsen out of gate 2 in blue, Richie Worrell coming in to replace Matty Zagar coming from the tapes, he will go in white, and Lewis Bridger from the outside in red. What do you think about the home chances now?
Yeah, maybe slightly improved, but you've got a reserve there in Richie Worrell that scored 10 points already tonight, quite comfortable on the track, making good starts. So, and he's in one of the better gates.
Indeed he is. The inside gate's looking good, and Craig Cook is there. Settling down, away we go. Terrific start from Craig Cook, and he's joined with Richie Worrell as they charge towards the first corner. Cook now doing the business there, looking for his teammate. Big 5-1 on the cards here for the Bellevue Aces, really landing a killer blow here, a hammer blow through the hammers after the first lap. Kim Nielsen pushing hard on the inside, but it's all about the Bellevue Aces here dominating the heat.
They are, and Craig Cook's going to have to keep guarding that white line. We know we've seen Kim Nielsen charging around that. Craig Cook got to be careful he doesn't mess Richie Worrell going into the corners. At the moment he is letting him into the corners, perfect team riding from him. And a fantastic result for the Aces. I would imagine we're going to see Richie Worrell out next time for Max Rick 2 on the trot.
Indeed we will. This is a super move now for the Bellevue Aces. It's a really tough race for the home team, but all credit to the Bellevue Aces. They have battled hard throughout the night. They lost their top man here, an exclusion, and they bounced back. Oh, Nielsen lifting violently coming out of the last corner, but what a hammer blow that is for the Lakeside team. Bellevue Aces coming up with a huge result there in heat number 13 to pick up a very important 5-1, and it's 39 points all.
Yeah, the away side there drawing level with the hammers, and it's a psychological blow at this late stage. Just 2 races to do anything about it. That really has hit the home side hard.
Indeed it is. Big move from the aces there. Craig Cook, what a ride that was from him, 3 points. Richie Worrell coming in as the replacement for Matty Zagar. Didn't weaken them at all. I suggested it may have done, but they proved me entirely wrong. What a ride from the aces there. Kim Nilsson struggling back in 3rd place and Bridger out of the points.
I had a feeling the inside gates were going to play into the aces' hands here. Craig Cook, superstar of gate 1. Richie Worrell pretty much matches him, heads straight to the dirt. Importantly now, as they leave the corner, Craig Cook is aware that his teammate is coming around the outside, has a look and lets him get into turn 3 nice and comfortably. There you can see the look from Craig Cook. That's all he needed to do, it was plain sailing as we went on from there.
Fabulous performance from the Bellevue Aces, really moving so close now. 39 points all here at the Arena Essex Raceway.
So level pegging there, Lakeside 39, Bellevue 39. Poole 10 up on Wolverhampton here with 3 to go, 41-31. And they have 2 of the top riders in the world here, Chris Holder and Antonio Limbach. But Wolves have gates 1 and 3, Sam Masters off the inside, Lindback off 2 for the Pirates, Lindgren off 3 for the Wolves, and Holder unbeaten so far off the outside in red. Danny, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yes, you know, Chris, I can see he's parking the bike up right close to the fence there, going to try and drag the dirt in from the fence to make a bit of grip for him, but it's going to be hard work from Poole, we know that.
Here we go, great start from Sam Masters off the inside gate. Now, what can Lindgren do? Not a lot because Holder is there. Holder tries that inside run, can't really make a blow on, land a blow on Sam Masters though, with Holder there with Limbach second, Holder third, and Freddie Lindgren is in the back. And now here comes Antonio Limbach. Limbach is going to surely take Masters wide, and now that'll give the opportunity for Holder to come through, and all of a sudden the Pirates are on a 5-1. This would give them a 14-point lead. Masters coming back for more, but Holder's made a tough stuff, and this could be a massive result for Poole.
That's such a huge blow for the Wolves there, you know. Sammy Masters did a perfect first corner and was controlling the race, but Antonio, I don't know if he caught him by surprise, but Sam got a bit unsettled there and lost all his momentum. And before you know it, Chris didn't ask twice, he followed Antonio through. But this is not a great result for the Wolves boys, but obviously Poole boys are going to be smiling.
Well, Limbach is going to save his best here till heat 13. Antonio Limbach for the Poole Pirates. That's why they love him here. And Chris Holder had a real go there as well. Lindgren is looking up at the referee's box. He's not happy. Clearly something, maybe at the start, that Lindgren's not happy with. But Chris Gay is taking no notice. The Pirates have pulled off a big 5-1 and are now 14 clear with 2 heats to go here at Wimborne Road. It's celebration time for Holder and Limbach, 2 world superstars of Speedway. Rode nicely there, Danny.
Yeah, that was a great move from Antonio. You know, he's been away from England, British Speedway for quite a while, and he's sort of finding the setup each race, and he's got better each race, and that was a brilliant move there. You know, it really unsettled Sam, and it was just enough to allow Chris to come through as well. You know, you don't need to give Chris Holder a second invitation when there's a gap, that's for sure.
Limbach, Holder, Masters, 5-1 to Poole. Poole 46, Wolves 32. Freddie Lindgren wasn't happy about something as he came back over the line. He was making gestures to the referee. But anyway, Masters made the better start.
He did, and Chris, you know, he knew it would be hard from 4, and he looked for a cutback straight away, and it almost worked, but Sam was just there, and Chris had to lock the bike up a bit too much. Not quite sure what Freddie was upset with, but it was a tight first bend there. As you can see here, watch Chris, he really has to scrub the speed off there, you know, he nearly ran at the back of Sam, but Antonio, you know, just let the bike run there, and yeah, here you come now, here's the move, you see, he comes out and puts Sam under pressure, and I'm not sure, yeah, Sam just lifts a bit there and runs a bit wide, has to scrub all his speed off, which is a shame, but as I say, you know, you don't give Chris Holder a second invitation.
Absolutely. Limbach riding nicely, let's get some reaction from him with our man, Simon Stead.
Thanks, Nigel. Down here with Antonio Limbach. That was more like it, mate.
Yeah, it was much better, but it's hard work, it's like... we have been working the whole night, and I think the bike is a little bit too strong, but it was nice to finish with 3 points.
10 years since you've been a Poole rider. Looked like you'd never been away, that one.
Yeah, now it starts to look like they should look, but now I want a few more laps here, you know, and I love the place, you know, the track and the fans, everything, you know, so, but of course I want to score a little bit more points.
you were saying before the meeting that you've got quite a busy weekend coming up. You happy with the more meetings? You're obviously fighting in the Grand Prix series. Are you happy with having more meetings?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I was a little bit scared now because I was looking at the schedule and I was seeing it was not so many meetings, but now it looks much better, so I can come back at the pool and help them. So I'm very happy.
Good to have you back. Well done.
Yeah, and when Antonio Lindback appeared on the big screen here in the stadium, all the crowd cheered. Right, up to heat number 14 at Lakeside against Bellevue, level 39 all, Chris and Kelv.
Yeah, thanks Nigel. The Bellevue Aces have done a terrific job so far this evening. And this, I'm sure Mark Lemon will be very pleased indeed with his team's work when you consider that Zagar hasn't had his best night, and Frick and Joe Jacobs also haven't been amongst the scorers, so they've done remarkably well. Nichols will go off the inside, he's unbeaten. Richard Lawson will go out of gate 2, blue. Richie Worrell in gate 3 in white, and Eddie Kennett, who's ridden really hard for his 7 points, but he needs to come up with a big result now. In truth, the home team need a real storming finish here now.
Yeah, they do, and they haven't got the firepower of J.S. Johnson in heat 15.
Oh! Tight first corner there, terrific start there. Kennett running out of room. Oh, running into this, just not going the way of the Lakeside Hammers here this evening. Super start from Scotty Nichols on the inside. He's joined there from Richie Worrell. So determined to get to the first corner, just out battling the home team.
Yeah, the difference really has been from the start into the first turn. The Aces have really had that determination. Lots of last places, but lots of race wins. And the second half of the meeting really getting it together, banging the fight. But Scott Nichols almost overturning the fight there, saved it well and looking comfortably out front with Richie Worrell.
Indeed he is. Richie Worrell is having a fabulous night, running very wide indeed. Scotty Nichols riding really nicely on the inside. Worrell is, Richard Lawson trying everything he knows back in 3rd place, but this is another massive blow for the home team. The Aces really flexing their muscles in the second half of the meeting. Super 5-1 for the Bellevue Aces, looking favourites right now after a tough night of Speedway. They're coming on strong in the latter races.
Yeah, the home side require now a 5-1 in heat 15 just to go to the National Speedway Stadium, all square, and well, they needed a lot more than that, Kelvin.
Indeed they did. It's been a difficult night for the home team. You've got to believe that they've missed their #1 rider, Andreas Johnson, who's out with several injuries. But all credit to the Bellevue Aces at this tricky track. They have come on strong. Richie Worrell winning the race, looked after beautifully by Scotty Nichols in 2nd place. Big 5-1 to them. Richard Lawson back in 3rd, and Kennett just out of having all sorts of problems around that first corner. But 44 points to Bellevue, a 4-point lead. I tell you what, they'll be chuffed to bits with that.
The Aces looking like table toppers right now and riding like table toppers. And they come off the inside gates once again, which has been an advantage for them in this second half of the meeting. What a tight first turn there. Richard Lawson didn't want to concede that first corner, but he had to in the end to Scott Nichols and Richie Worrell, who's had 7 rides tonight, 13 points. He has made a big difference for the Aces with Joe Jacobs out of sorts of reserve there.
He has indeed. Richie Worrell coming in and doing a fine job for his team this evening, as has Scotty Nichols. He is unbeaten by an opponent so far this evening, and we see their 2 consecutive 5-1s to the Bellevue Aces has really put the home team to the sword. So terrific stuff from the Aces. They're looking favourites. There's no doubt that they are in the driving seat. 40 points to the Lakeside boys and Bellevue on 44.
And Poole 46, Wolves 32 here. Wolves need a big ride from the world champion again here. He's alongside Jakob Torshäll. Bruskowski and Pedersen are the men, and the red lights are on. Wolverhampton moved to the start there, I think, off the inside. Red lights are on, Danny.
Yeah, I think he just twitched a little bit. You know, I'm not sure if he got an advantage from it, but obviously the referee felt it was just fair to bring it back. But yeah, here we go. So yeah, he just twitched a little bit. He didn't move too much. He didn't touch the tapes, but obviously the referee wants to see a rerun.
2 minutes is on straight away then. Nobody's leaving the track here. Nobody's leaving the track. So all 4 riders back for the restart. It's Bjarne Pedersen and Krzysztof Bruskowski for the Poole Pirates, and it is Jakob Torshäll and Ty Wolverhampton for the Wolverhampton Wolves. Wolverhampton, who would love to win this heat number 14 if they can somehow pinch a race advantage in these last 2 heats. Maybe, just maybe, they can take it to Wolverhampton and overturn it on Monday night.
Yeah, they certainly need to claw some points back because they don't want Poole going there with a big lead. Certainly, you know, certainly 10 or more. I'm sure they had a figure in their head, but I'm sure they'd like to have kept it within 10.
Now let's head back to Lakeside, and here's Sophie.
Rondo.
Yes, I am. I'm with Richie. I don't think we've got a camera on us right now. Richie, I'll chat to you though. Basically, you've got a 4-point lead. The team must be thrilled with that right now. Just heat 15 to go.
Definitely thrilled with it.
That was Matty just saying very good to Richie, because you have worked incredibly hard tonight.
Yeah, well, we came here last time without him and we nearly won. So yeah, it's a good thing it's turned out. And look, we've got the advantage now.
Some people were a bit surprised when Bellevue chose Lakeside. It was the only club they'd come to all season where they hadn't taken a win, but obviously it has paid off, that choice.
Yeah, well, you know, they only just got in, so obviously they are the weaker team, no offence. There is a number of lads in our team that would prefer this track to the others, and you know, them others are tough. Either one of Poole or Wolves is going to be tough, so keeping a close eye on that match, and looking forward to the finals when we get through.
Thanks very much. I'll let you rest now. I know you've worked hard.
So heat 14, Woofenden, Buszkowski, Torshäll and Pedersen, all 4 riders back for the restart. So what can happen here now? Can Wolves combine? They need a 5-1, you feel, here, Wolverhampton. They need to make the start, and Woofenden, you feel, had a little nibble again there. It's a great start from Buszkowski. Second place enjoyed Woofenden now. He's looking over his shoulder. Now he's going to take up the challenge, Woofenden, and try and get the better of Krzysztof Buszkowski, who's a hard rider to pass around here, the pole. Woofenden now trying the inside run. Just as I said, he's a hard rider to pass. Woofenden does the business. They're on a 4-2 here. Torshäll looking over his shoulder to block out the challenge of Pedersen.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Ty had another nibble on the start there and he really messed himself up, but he's got plenty of speed in that bike now. I don't know what he's changed, but he's flying out front. It's really important though that Vassell stays there. In fact, he's having to go for second, Nige. He just stopped right in the middle there. That's it. He's nipping around the inside. He's trying to catch them soft bits coming off the corner, and he might even going to make it stick.
Yep, here comes Jakob Torshäll, but it's a good ride from Buszkowski. Buszkowski holds mid-track. Torshäll tries the inside run, not quite there. The lead is with Woofenden. Torshäll with one last go, but Buszkowski's going to hold the inside line. Down to the line, 4-2 Wolverhampton. Woofenden gets there with the pass after making a hash of the start. Torshäll in 3rd place. Battling hard with Buszkowski. It was a good speedway race again there, and a vital 4 points there to the Wolverhampton Wolves, but Poole still find themselves in a good position. 12 points up. Here's the result. Woofenden, Buszkowski, Torshäll and Pedersen. Poole 48, Wolves 36. The Pirates still in a great position with 1 heat to go here tonight. Good ride from Woofenden now after making a hash of the start here.
Yeah, that's right. He obviously feeling the pressure. He knows he's got to go out and win the race. He just had another nibble and unfortunately missed it this time. But he composed himself. You can see Jakob here coming around the outside. Ty actually had a look for him there, which was good. And as he cut back to the inside, it allowed Ty to go for the big run round the outside. Jakob, you know, I'm not quite sure what's going on. At one point it looked like he was tussling with Bjarne at the back, and then all of a sudden he got some speed from somewhere and he ended up tussling for second there, and he was unfortunate not to get the 5-1, but it was obviously a much needed 4-2 for the Wolves because they need to start clawing this back as much as they can for Monday.
Yeah, good ride from Woofenden, and here Torshäll trying the inside run, but Buszkowski held a good line there. Good speedway. Heat number 14, we have 1 race left from each semi-final. Live from Poole, live from Lakeside. Join us when we come back with Poole leading Wolves by 12 and Bellevue 4 up at Lakeside. Playoff Speedway continues next. Poole's way here at Wimborne Road, and Bellevue the better side at Lakeside so far. Are we heading for a Poole-Bellevue final? We've got 1 race left at each venue tonight, and this is only the first leg, remember. The second leg coming up on Monday, live on Sky Sports. Building up to heat number 15 at Lakeside then. Let's find out who's going in what position in that last race. Here's Sophie.
Thanks very much. John, it's not gone the way you guys wanted it to tonight. I think AJ not being here has had a bit of an effect.
I think it's just the last 2 races really, Soph. I think we were coping pretty well. 7 rides from AJ's rides up until that point. It's just those last 2 races have been a bit of kick in the teeth. Didn't really see that come in. If I'm honest, I thought we could have freeholed both of those races. And then early in the meeting, I've had those couple of races where we had points and got in each other's way a little bit. So these things at this level, playoff semi-final, this is where it really costs you. So we just pull ourselves together, try and negate the damage in this next race and set ourselves up with a chance for Monday. But yeah, certainly the last 2 races are the ones that have kicked us.
Are you hoping that he will be back for Monday?
I had a long chat with AJ on in the morning, and I think from what the medical guys are saying, the longer he can wait is the better. And I think we've got him covered very well for Monday. In fact,
Is that Christoph you bringing in?
Well, Christoph's the plan, and Lemo tells me he's better than AJ, so I'll take that. And that was the plan. And then I think AJ was looking to be fit for the final, but obviously there's a lot of work to get ahead now for us to get the final. We've got to go to Bellevue and we've got to win, and we've got to win quite big, because this next race is going to be a tough one as well. So,
who are you putting out in Heat 15?
In 15, we're getting Richard Lawson and Kim Nielsen.
All right, thanks very much. Right, we'll come to you, Mark. You've got a smile on your face. You're quite happy with the scoreline at the moment, aren't you?
There's a lot to be happy with, obviously a 4-point lead right now, and hopefully we can increase that to 8 to take home. So it's not job done, but it's been a very successful night. We've had mixed emotions in our team, and some have had great nights, some had sort of disappointing nights by their own standards. So but we'll push on. But yeah, we knew it was always going to be tough, whoever we chose, because there's 4 great teams. But we have a great number 8 up in the back straight that have been with us all year and last year. So our supporters have been fantastic. They come down the buses, and the support's been great, and it does make a big difference. So yeah, well done to them.
It certainly does, and there should be great support the next week as well. Who are you putting out in Heat 15?
We're going to go off white, Scott Nichols in Gate 1, and yellow, Craig Cook off Gate 3.
Thanks very much. Over to Simon with the managers in Poole.
Yeah, thanks, Sophie. Down with the team managers in the Poole pits. Firstly, Peter, a tough meeting. I'm sure you would have liked to have kept it closer, but your home form has been really good this year.
Yeah, it's always tough coming here, obviously, and I mean, whatever the result of this last race, the match ain't going to be over. So, hopefully we can turn the tables on the Pirates on Monday.
Yeah, Woofy's had a bit of a tough start to the meeting tonight, but there's no doubt your home boys have been going. You guys have been going very well at home, and you're going to expect more from them.
Yeah, I think it took Ty a couple of races to get the place weighed up again. That was costly for us, and Poole obviously have had the superiority at reserve, which is a very telling factor. But as I say, it ain't going to be over till it's over.
Which riders and what gates are you taking in Heat 15?
We're going to take 1 and 3, and I'm going to use Freddie, who's angry, and Wolfie, who's on it now.
Thanks, Peter. Neil, obviously they're happy of the 2 team managers. You must be proud of your boys tonight.
Yeah, it's been a tough meeting. I mean, we knew it was going to be. You've got 2 very good teams out here, and we're coming down to Heat 15, and Wolverhampton can still do us some damage in this one, so we've got to try and get something out of this one.
Neil, which rider are you putting in Heat 15?
I'm putting Chris Holder off Gate 2 and Antonio Lindbeck off Gate 4.
Thanks, Neil. Good luck. Thank you.
Well, Poole 48, Wolverhampton 36 here at Wimborne Road. 1 race to go at the Arena Essex Raceway, and a 5-1 needed for the home team, you feel, but they're up against that man, Scott Nichols. What a performance from him tonight. Let's go for heat number 15 now with Chris Louis and Kelvin Tatum.
Thanks very much, Nigel. Yes, it's been a terrific night for the Bellevue Aces. Scott Nichols, the captain, going out of gate number 1 in Heat 15. He's done a terrific job for them, playing a captain's role, you've got to say. The line-up for Heat 15 then. Nichols, the captain from the Aces on the inside. 11 points, good stuff from him. Kim Nielsen's had a disappointing night by his high standards. He goes out of gate 2 in red. Craig Cook, ridden well. 8 points to his name, gate 3 in yellow and black, and Richard Lawson off the outside in blue. And in truth, Chris, the home team really could do with at very least a 4-2 here, because a 4-point deficit with the visit to the National Speedway Stadium on Monday, far from ideal for the Lakeside Hammers.
If nothing else, they need it for their confidence going into that second leg, but you have to say Bellevue very much in the driving seat. Max Frick, 0 points tonight, 3 times under 21 Australian champion, leading, or joint leader I should say, of the World Under 21 Championship with our own Robert Lambert.
Sure.
I don't think we'll be seeing that again on Monday.
No, we won't. And there's no doubt that the Aces have done remarkably well when you consider, as you've just pointed out there, 2 of their riders have not scored, so a great night from them. There's no doubt that the home team have missed Andreas Johnson tonight, the leader of the team, and 1 or 2 small mistakes along the way, but well, a little bit of consolation here. They've got to show some fighting spirit, you would think, in front of the home audience here, Chris. They won't want to throw the towel in. They'll want to keep it as tight as they possibly can.
Yes, they will. I mean, it's been such a sterling effort, you know, to get to this semi-final that they can't afford to throw the towel in now.
Absolutely not. Settling down for the last race of tonight here at the Arena Racing Raceway. The green light is on. Terrific reaction from Nichols and Cook out of gates 1 and 3. The Aces in dominant move once again. Charge round that first corner, getting the better of the opposition. Look at Cook go, flying into the bottom corner, running wide, really wide. Nichols once again controlling the race really nicely on the inside, with Kim Nielsen now coming into 3rd place and pushing hard, but the Aces are on a roll.
Yeah, Scott Nichols lucky to get away with that start, took a couple of stabs at it, but I wouldn't hold that against him. He's been absolutely impeccable this evening, and when the Aces have hit the front, they really have team rode very smoothly. They've allowed the guy on the outside to get into the corner. Scott Nichols has decided to give Craig Cook a little bit of air, just covering that inside line for Kim Nielsen. He knows that's where the attack would come from, and it's a great finish for the Aces.
Fabulous finish for the Aces indeed. This will be the 3rd consecutive 5-1 on the night to stretch it out to an 8-point victory. Out of the last corner, the Bellevue Aces in terrific form at the back end of the meeting. Nichols and Cook putting off another 5-1. Mark Lemon will be delighted with that, as will the large travelling contingent that have come down here from Manchester. Super stuff from the Bellevue Aces. Their 3 consecutive 5-1s. They really have put the home team to the sword.
Yeah, they've hammered them at the end there, and fantastic stuff from the Aces. You can't take anything away from them. They've come here, they've battled hard. The Lakeside Hammers managed just to hold that slender lead up until heat 13. You have to say it's fallen away sharply from there.
It has indeed. Terrific stuff from the Aces in the last 3 races. John Cook said it was tough. They were hanging in there, but the last 3 races has gone the way of the side from Manchester. Cook, Nichols in 2nd place. Kim Nielsen tried all he could, but just wasn't good enough, and Richard Lawson misses out this time. 49 points to 41. That is a terrific result for the Bellevue Aces. We will see heat 15 again, and we're seeing just a bit of a reaction now from the team. Big smiles all round. A large part of the job done, Chris.
Yeah, well, they've taken all of the pressure off themselves. I mean, you wouldn't expect Lakeside to be able to go to Bellevue and win, let alone claw back 8 points. So they can go and enjoy themselves on their home turf now. But Scott Nichols, impeccable night from him. And when Craig Cook joined the party, there we go, the bumps for the skip, and he deserves them. He's had a great night tonight.
Scott Nichols has been impeccable, as you said. He has ridden terrifically well. He's been composed. He has shown great form on track. The Bellevue Aces, 8-point lead going into the 2nd leg. Terrific effort from them.
Yeah, Bellevue with 1 foot in the playoff final now after that one. Here, Poole 48, Wolves 36, and here's the lineup with Freddie Lindgren off the inside for Wolves, Holder off 2 for Poole, Woffenden off 3 for Wolves, Lindback off 4 for Poole. Huge race for Wolverhampton this one. They need to try and bring something back. Holder's made a lovely start though. Lovely start from Chris Holder. There's Freddie Lindgren though now. Woffenden is caught up in traffic. What can Woffenden do about this now? Lindgren has the lead. Chris Holder is 2nd. Antonio Lindback is there in 3rd, and Woffenden is struggling to land a blow at the back here. Lindgren under all sorts of pressure. Woffenden's not giving up on the back though, trying to get the better of Lindback. Here he comes now. Super race, it's like a Grand Prix, Danny King.
Absolutely, Nigel, I can't believe it. Ty just caught in traffic in the first bend and sort of didn't know where to go, but now Holder's come through. You can't take your eyes off this race, mate. Freddie's looking for that soft stuff on the inside again, not quite got enough. Ty's now comfortably past Antonio. You know, they need to keep chasing after Holder here, but unfortunately I can't see a way past.
Brilliant ride from Chris Holder. He is back to his best, no doubt. Wonderful display from the 2012 World Champion. It's his 5th ride of the night, and he's unbeaten by an opposing rider. And Poole Pirates are going to take a 12-point lead to Wolverhampton on Monday. Wolves will feel they have the ability to turn that around on home shale. It's a very, very different track than this one, but Poole will marginally, I would suggest, be the better, the more happier of the two teams. It's they who have the points in the bag, Danny.
Absolutely, Nige. I think if we're honest, Wolves would have wanted to keep it within 10. Obviously, they're very good at home, we know that, but Poole are an outstanding team and they've got such strength in depth. It's going to be a tough one for them, but you know, it's not over. Pete Adams said that.
No, it's not over here. 12 points it is in favour of the Poole Pirates. 51 points to 39, the final score. Holder, Lindgren, Woofenden, Lindback passing galore at the front and the back there in Heat 15. Some fabulous speedway. And the Poole Pirates will be content with that. They defend 12 points at Monmouth Green on Monday night now. Bellevue already with 1 foot in the final with their win. And this was a super heat number 15.
It was, as you see here, Ty looked for a cutback but ended up just sort of in the middle and in traffic, having a queue really. But he composed himself and tried the high line. Freddie did a brilliant first corner and just got the inside, but Holder's been unstoppable tonight. You know, he's got so much speed, and even when he gets behind, he just slows down and he just picks him off with ease really. You can see Woofy there, really hanging out in the dirt. Antonio didn't really have an answer to that, pulling the tail off. But yeah, you know, it's unfortunate for the Wolves. I know they would have liked it to keep it a bit closer, but Woofy, you know, if he had turned out a little bit earlier and got that bike set right, who knows, it would have been a bit closer.
Well, and the fact that Freddie Lindgren suffered 2 last places as well for Wolves, that's been a bit of a blow for them too. But the home fans going home happy, but not 100% confident that they're through, because there will still be these doubts. Tell us what it's like for a visiting rider to go to Wolverhampton, Danny.
It's tough, Nigel. It's really tough. They have such a good home advantage there. It's a little track and it's quite grippy, and if you haven't got the setup right, you know, you can get left behind. So you know, I have sort of up and downs there. I've had good meetings there, bad meetings there, and it's going to be tough. But you know, we've got a strong Poole team here. We've got an ex-world champion in the team, Antonio Lindback. I'm sure they're going to go there with confidence. Yeah, and they're the ones with the points in the bag. 12-point lead for the Poole Pirates here tonight then. Lakeside, meanwhile, lost at home by 8 to Bellevue. 3 straight 5-1s to the Aces. Let's get to Sophie.
I think Bellevue have just proved why you have such a good away record this year. You must be pretty pleased going into next week's meeting with an 8-point lead.
Yeah, definitely. It's you know, we came here to keep it as close as we could, so to go away with a lead is fantastic. So you know, but it's half the job done, and yes, we're at home, but you know, you can't underestimate anybody, so we know they're going to be determined to turn things around. So, but yeah, you know, I think we're all delighted.
Craig, we saw you working hard tonight. It's a tricky track, but you got there in the end.
Yeah, exceptionally hard, you know. That's just why these guys have been so good here all season, and this is why they're in the playoffs. So, yeah, they've been a phenomenal team throughout the season, but we've been phenomenal on the weird tracks as well. So, we've brought it to them tonight, and yeah, well, like Scotty said, we're delighted to go with 8-point margin.
And are you looking forward to next Monday now? A bit more confident?
Yeah, and you know, it's taking the pressure off a little bit. I mean, obviously we can't underestimate them. They're not in the playoffs for no reason, so we've got to be not to be complacent. You know, if we want to test a couple of things, you know, try it, but don't change too much. And you know, the main goal now is just to get ourselves through to that final.
All right, thanks very much. Well done, guys. Over to Simon.
Thanks, Sophie. Chris, I'll come to you first. A big win for the homeboys and another maximum for Chris Holder.
Yeah, beautiful. Before the meeting, we knew we needed a pretty good score, and we sort of wanted 10 or something like that. Around that would be good. And yeah, to get 12 points is really nice, and pressure's on them to do the same to us.
You've got a big weekend. You've got obviously Polish. You've got the Polish playoffs at the weekend, and then back to Wolverhampton on Monday. So big couple of meetings for you, but nice to cement yourself in the final on Monday. Yeah, for sure. We did a really good job tonight. Everyone sort of chipped in and did something, and it's all to play for. So roll on Monday, and hopefully we turn up and do a good job. Well done, Chris. Cheers, mate. Midlow, we said obviously he was going to be the happier team manager, but a 12-point win, that's as much as you could have asked for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I said before the meeting, you know, 10 points would have been very good, but to get 12 is great. I mean, it's still going to be tough, because you know how tough Wolves are around their place, and you know, Peter's given his boys a talk to, and they'll be coming back at us. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, they have been tough at home this year. They've got a really good record. You know the job's not over, but this is not unfamiliar water for Neil Middleditch and the Poole team, so you'll know how to get the boys fired up.
Yeah, that's right. 4 in a row still on. I mean, it's going to be tough. We know that. We lost by 6 at Wolves last time, and I was very happy with that. And, a couple of guys tonight perhaps, need to step their game up a little bit, but all in all, it was a good team performance.
Yeah, a tough start for Antonio Lindback. It's always difficult bringing a rider in at short notice, but he stepped in. We've seen him get a race win and glimmers of what he can do.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he's a class act, and you don't forget that. And I think that, as you say, tonight was, on the track, coming in cold, and he's ridden Wolverhampton. He can turn a bike, and he was very disappointed tonight, obviously. But he showed glimmers of brilliance, and hopefully he can take that to Wolves on Monday.
Thanks, Neil. Well done.
Cheers, Daddy.
Back to Nigel.
Thank you, Simon. Yes, it sets it up nicely for Monday night. Then at Wolverhampton, the second leg around Monmouth Green. That's going to be terrific. We're looking forward to that. It's live on Sky Sports. We'll have coverage of Bellevue against Lakeside as well at the National Speedway Stadium in Manchester. So, Peter Adams, the Wolves team manager, what's his philosophy now? 12 points down, but when you look man for man, Wolves have got what it takes at home to get the better of Poole, have they not?
They have, absolutely, Nigel. Freddie Lindgren, having such an off night tonight, he's not going to do that at Wolverhampton. We know that. He's called Fast Freddy for a reason, and that's because he's so good around there. And he needs a big performance from him on Monday, that's for sure. And the other guys, they need to step up, and they will. It's the playoffs, this is what it's all about, and they're going to be disappointed with the 12 points down. But anything can happen.
Well, nicely poised here. Wolves still in with a chance going into the second leg, but it looks all over for Lakeside. Chris and Kelvin. Kelvin, is that job done for Bellevue tonight?
Well, there's big smiles on the management, certainly from the Bellevue Aces, Nigel, and they're delighted with their night's work. And in truth, Chris, they probably couldn't have wished for a better result.
No, they couldn't. They're firmly in the driving seat. 8 points to take back to the National Speedway Stadium. In theory, should be more than enough. They should go there, relax, enjoy themselves. But I think the big difference, two differences. Andreas Jonsson missing for the home side. 7 points from his first 3 rides, which was okay, but then they just didn't have the firepower towards the end, and that's due when those 3-5-1s came in, and that's Richie Worrell at reserve for the Aces. Fantastic stuff. Paid for 16 points. Big difference.
Fabulous performance from Richie Worrell, and particularly when you saw Zagar was excluded and they were able to bring a rider of that quality and that form, didn't weaken them at all.
Not at all. And when Craig Cook joined the party as well, finished with 3 race wins, that's what really hit the Hammers very hard.
Can you see any way back for the Lakeside Hammers? It's not ideal.
In reality, no, I can't. I really can't. I know they're going to go there. They're going to give it everything. Christoph Kaczmarek will be a good number 1 for them, and that will even things up a little bit.
Yep, terrific night for the Bellevue Aces. The Lakeside Hammers will be licking their wounds on the way home, but nonetheless, a terrific night of Speedway.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Kelvin. So on Monday night, we are going to be focusing on the playoff semi-final at Monmouth Green. It is Wolverhampton Wolves against the Poole Pirates, with coverage as well of Bellevue against Lakeside. 7:30, Sky Sports 3 on Monday night, the second leg of the Elite League semi-final. Wolverhampton against Poole. Terrific night of racing. Well done to all 4 teams. They've given us some great entertainment here tonight. The playoffs never fail to deliver or disappoint, do they? Wolves still in with a chance, but 1 foot in the final for the Bellevue Aces. Enjoyed your company, Danny King, Simon Stead. From all of us here at Poole tonight and the rest of the team, it's good night.